when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
A Steamboat Springs man was killed in an avalanche over the weekend on Buffalo Pass.
He just loved the Colorado life, and he lived it to the fullest.
A friend of 49-year-old Drew Hyde tells Fox 31 he loved the backcountry.
It's tough because the people that you lose are usually the people that know what they're doing because they're out there every day.
It was the second avalanche death in 3 days. Last Thursday in San Miguel County, a man was killed. According to the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, 6 people have been killed in avalanches so far this season. A local expert has some opinions of the latest nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court. University of Colorado law professor Dr. Suzette Malveaux says Ketanji Brown Jackson's accomplishments speak for themselves.
She just ticks off every single box, so it should be sort of a no-brainer. Having said that, many of these hearings have turned into somewhat of political theater.
Jackson's confirmation hearings got underway this morning on Capitol Hill. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Premier Members Credit Union.
We've got wet roadways around Denver now. Eastbound I-70, a wreck blocks the 3 right lanes between Kipling and Wadsworth. We're bunched up from 44th Ward Road. Crash southbound I-25 at Spear, and snow on the roadway on I-25 down through the Gap. Cleared out an accident northbound Parker at I-225. Westbound Iliff, 1 lane open through the utility work about 4 blocks west of I-225. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Snow for today and tomorrow. Highs up to 45 with lows around 30. Mostly sunny on Wednesday at 50. It's going to warm up again Thursday, real nice with sunshine and 65 degrees. Right now it's 33 with your Impact Traffic and Weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
At Premier Members, they personally handcraft every detail of every mortgage to perfection. It's not just your mortgage loan, it's their masterpiece. Join them at becomepremier.com. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 416701.
There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak's new email newsletter. Right now, listeners of this show will be entered for the chance to win $1,000 when they sign up for Newsbreak's brand new email newsletter at iheart.com/Newsbreak. Get the top 5 news stories from your neighborhood delivered straight to your inbox every morning. It's completely free. Sign up at iheart.com/Newsbreak and be entered to win $1,000.
Let me clear my throat. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
With their 2-year interest rate guarantee, rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, or their pre-approval, which gives you the strength of a cash buyer. At Ideal, first they listen, then they lend. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
See you Twitter, follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino.
And stay connected with all of Denver's talk stations on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW.
Afternoons 2 to 4.
It's Leland Conway.
This is producer Ryan Cooling, Super Q, from the topical to the irreverent, the serious to the sublime.
Is Blake scheduled to come on the show anytime, Suze? Is Blake scheduled for a regular appearance on the show?
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life a little easier. This hour brought to you by waterpros.net. You can get a water system in your home, the lowest price, at the best quality ever. That's waterpros.net. And I say the best quality because I have a system, a couple systems, and they're perfect. Drinking water 24/7 without ever having to buy bottled water. Delicious water. Under $1,000 it was, fully installed in my home. Think about that. Just go to waterpros.net for more. Get your groove on. You'll love it. Hey, so welcome to the show. We had a call last week. I think it was Friday, or it could have been the day before. Whatever. I wanted to get Blake Harris on to talk about it. Blake Harris is an estate planning attorney. And I wanted to ask him a few questions. And I think I can summarize Keith's problem, and Keith can chime in if I don't do it properly. But Keith has, is it 4 siblings now, Keith, alive right now? Is it you and 4 others, a total of 5 right now, or a total of 4?
Good morning, Tom, and yes, it is.
A total of 5?
It's 5, but we're down to 4.
Okay, a total of 4.
There was a 6th one, but the state didn't include him because he was adopted.
Okay, total of 4.
64.
Total of 4 siblings. And here's what I want to ask you, Blake. This is down and dirty. Let's get right to it. His dad left a will, leaving the family home. Leaving the family home to the siblings. And the dad wanted them to leave it in the home, in the family for generations. Is that right, Keith?
That's correct.
And he didn't want you to sell it. Is that right?
That's correct.
Did he leave directions as to who gets to live in it?
No, he did not.
Okay. And did he leave any directions as to what to do if 1 or 2 wanted to get out of it?
Buy each other out.
Did it? You remember it saying that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in the paperwork and all that.
Right. But that paperwork and all that is now missing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, all of you agree that the house was left to all of you. There's not one saying it was left just to me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how long ago did he die?
May of last year.
Okay, so the 4 of you are in agreement, even the one that wants out, the 4 of you are in agreement that the house was to be left to the children and to be kept.
Yes.
Okay, but now one of you wants out, right?
Yes.
Okay, now this brings up a whole bunch of questions, Blake, not germane to Keith, but since this show is about people listening, and in addition to Keith, I have one question for you. This is a basic question. In a will, do we have to, if the will is there, not lost, but it's there, is it a legal document that is enforceable? In other words, what if the kids say, hell, we don't want to keep this house for 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 years. Sure. We want to sell it. Blake, if that's the case, do you have to abide by those terms? If he says to keep it forever, and you guys all think it's unreasonable, do you have to keep it forever?
The beneficiaries can reach an agreement, petition the court to accept that agreement, and then they can proceed with court approval, not following the terms of the grantor. So, yeah, you can create an estate plan and say that you never want your kids to sell the property, but if your kids can get along, they can kind of change your estate plan. So the estate plan is kind of there in lieu of the family not coming to their own settlement agreement.
I see. I get it. So let me get this straight then. The will says they all get the house. Now, they all have the house right now, and probate's closed, let's say. They all have the house. Okay? Now, can they do what they want with it if they come to an agreement?
Yes, if they come to an agreement, I mean, basically what we're watching out for is who is going to sue. And if you sign off on your right to sue, then you can proceed.
Okay. Now, if 4, let's say this, is it majority rule, though? The will says to keep the house, okay? And let's presume they have a copy. In this case, they don't. That's a whole different issue. But let's say you have a copy of the will, and the will says you kids are to keep this house for, let's just say, 50 years. Okay, and one of them wants out. Now, can the other three say, no, just no? And majority rules, because they're going by the will, can they just make her be a part of it?
So it takes just one person to say, I want to honor the terms of the will. I don't want to enter a family settlement agreement to stop the family from reaching a settlement. If that occurs, you may be able to petition the court and ask them to still disregard the will and set up a different distribution plan. But chances are, if one of the beneficiaries says, no, I like the will, that will is probably going to be upheld.
Okay, so they are strong documents unless they come to an alternate agreement.
Correct.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that it has to be a majority. One of them, even if all three want to sell, if one of them wants to abide by the will, they have to abide by the will most likely unless the courts grant otherwise. So now, let's now go to Keith's case. All of that is true except one thing. They can't find the documents now, and one of the sisters want out. How do they even prove what the will said?
I mean, the short answer is you don't, and you proceed as though there never was an estate plan. If there is a copy of the estate plan, if we have somewhere on video talking about what the estate plan is, and maybe you could introduce that as evidence. Or if the will goes missing, and this is a common problem, if the will goes missing and you pass away, it's as though you never had a will.
Keith, can you guys put your hands on any copy of that will anywhere?
No, sir. That will was created before my mother passed, and for the last 4 or 5 years, it was in one place. And, they showed us where it was in a metal box, and it was there. We never worried about it, and after my dad passed, it was gone.
Okay, now, do you suspect the one sister who wants to sell the house and get her share of the money, do you suspect she's the one that took that box?
Yes.
And do you have her on video taking that box?
We have her on video taking boxes out the house, not the box itself. She could have put it in the box.
Right.
As far as the boxes. So, yeah.
But that metal box with the will is gone.
Yes, sir. Now,
Blake Harris, what if four of them, out of the four, three of them say, we know what Daddy wanted? Will that hold up?
No. What was spoken never happened.
Oh, my goodness. So right now, in the absence right now, and Keith, the reason I wanted to get Blake on is because he's an attorney that handles these all the time, BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE, and you guys can call him. But here's the point, Keith. He said if the will is missing or gone missing, it's as if you didn't have a will. Unless you have a copy of it, and it can be proven it's a copy. So in the absence of a will, the four of you own that home. Did you ever title it to the four of you?
No, that's about to happen.
Okay.
That's about to happen. We were contacted by the Maryland probate court in Harford County, and they said it's going to happen within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. So Blake,
everything with my dad.
Blake, when it's titled to these kids, that one sister can demand it be sold?
Well, no. I mean, if the property is being distributed to all four beneficiaries, then any of these four beneficiaries, then each of them have an ownership interest in that property, and each of them can choose whether to keep or sell their interest in the property. Now, it's going to be hard to find a buyer who's interested in purchasing a piece of that property and having to co-occupy it with three strangers.
So she can't force all of them to sell.
Correct, but she can sell, theoretically, she could sell her interest. You're not going to get 25% of the value because it's less marketable because you have to share it with other tenants. But you can put onto your property if you want. So you can't force people.
All right. So Blake, if three of them want to buy her out, how do they arrive at a price?
they just have to keep bidding up until she accepts the price. And I mean, and she can hold out for an unreasonable price if she wants.
Keith, do you understand all this?
Yes, sir. The house and property is worth $950,000.
So
we would have to give her a fifth of that, right?
Well,
buy her out.
You're allowed to take. Well, you say a fifth of it. The one that died, where did his share go?
To his niece.
Oh,
to his daughter. To his daughter. Sorry,
okay.
His daughter.
So okay, never mind. Then there are 5 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you take, you said 950.
Yes, sir.
If you take 950,000, I mean that's going to be. You don't necessarily, and you so divided by 5 would be 190,000. But Blake, aren't they allowed? Even though she may not accept it, they're allowed to take off what would be commissions on that if they sold it, right?
I mean, this is a private agreement. They can offer her $10 for that if she takes the $10.
Right.
Takes $10.
Yeah. So Keith, are you guys prepared to buy her out?
We've been talking about it. We're looking at all the intangibles and doing that. I have a question for you, lawyers, sir. Does it, as far as the lawyers, I'm thinking that if she's going to do that, it's going to take a lot of months spending for her, as far as legal fees and lawyers and all that. Is that going to be expensive for her to do that, or she just can do it privately and submit it to the court?
I mean, for her to do what? Sell her interest?
No, for her to make trouble for these guys.
Hire an attorney.
But Keith, are you asking what? If does she have to hire an attorney to force you guys to buy her out?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, if you guys refuse to buy her out, Blake, what happens if they refuse? They just say, go sit on it. She'd have to hire an attorney, right?
Well, I mean, if she wants to just sit on it, she can just sit on it. Or if she wants to sell it, she can hire a real estate broker and an attorney to help the sale, or you can just sell it without either of those.
See, Keith, the chances of somebody buying 1/5 of that is ridiculous. I don't think anybody would do it. I don't. Listen, I have to take this quick break. Now, Suze, if Blake can stick, or we can call Blake back, but I think we have the basics here.
Don't forget, Tom, his son is in the house. Remember that was
that has nothing to do with it.
Well, I know,
but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, that's for him personally. It has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But for what Blake needs to know,
right.
That's a mess. Do you think? I wonder where that will went. Do you think she took it?
Of course. It doesn't. Mailboxes don't just disappear.
God, see, that's
I
why
haven't seen any.
Wills should be put somewhere, don't you think?
Always. Well, I mean, he did the right.
Anybody can get a will.
Let's talk about Genesis Total Exteriors. Genesis is a company that I have dealt with for years, a home improvement company that I know and trust, and you can too. Genesis Total Exteriors is there to help you with solar, or basements, or kitchens, or baths, or full, or anything exterior, siding, windows, doors, whatever you need. It's Genesis. And again, if you have insurance damage, they can put it all on one claim because they do all of it on one invoice. That's 303-679-8509, 679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. I feel so great after getting my hydration therapy. That's RockyMountainIVMedics.com. I had them come to the studio. They can come anywhere that you want, medical professionals to your home for hydration. That's IV therapy. Yes, you can have it. It doesn't have to be prescribed. They have a doctor that oversees their entire operation, so you can get a Myers cocktail that's a bunch of vitamins, or you can get something for the flu, or you can get something just for general health. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. Call or text, and they can get to you within an hour if you need it, at your home or office. 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155.
I'm Dr. Allen with Restore.
What activity would you enjoy if your knees didn't hurt? Have you wondered if there is an alternative to surgery?
At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Healthy Me protocol, a process created with you in mind. Request an appointment today at any of our 5 convenient locations in Golden, Aurora, Orton, Colorado Springs, and now Littleton. Begin your journey to healthy mobility and healthy living. Visit RestoreOsteo.com today. That's RestoreOsteo.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first line of defense against allergens,
I wanted to make sure you're okay with this. General manager, owner, I don't really know what his title is, of Factory Motor Parts. You've heard of them, right?
Medicine, it's
They're like
the
Napa.
device uses powered suction.
Anyway, he listens to the show, wanted, they're desperate for employees, wanted to put the word out there hiring. Are you cool with that?
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can
What is our connection then?
I think he just listens to the show, but I mean, they're a lot like Napa. They're big
If
like
we're
that.
going to do that,
Yeah.
then I want to open it up to other companies. I have someone else that wants to do that too. So if we get a lull, we can do that. I don't know if today's a good day, but I wouldn't mind doing that as a job segment. If we have 1 or 2, it would be a good idea.
Okay, maybe you want to, if we get a lull, you want to put the word out, hey, anyone hiring, let's get the
but
word out.
I also have one I'm going to send to you, so now we'll have 2.
So go ahead and get those on when it's
no
quiet.
matter what, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
You know what's really sad, Tom? 8 people were killed and 50 people were injured in 8 shootings over the weekend.
In Denver?
No, but
in around the country. Oh,
in mass shootings. It's just crazy.
Every second that goes by, you are losing more and more of your hard-earned savings. So you can fight back. Instead of letting Democrats treat your savings like their own piggy bank, with trillions spent on their radical far-left agenda, you can protect what you've earned by converting your IRA or 401k into gold with Birch Gold Group. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett, and I'm one of Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, get a free 20-page info kit when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. Gold-backed IRAs.
Did you hear the latest speech by Biden? It was like fucking nuts. It was nuts.
It made no sense, right?
Oh no, it was gibberish. And he said, listen to this. He said, you'll notice the first lady's not up here because the first gentleman has COVID. He was calling the vice president the first lady, and then said the first gentleman had COVID. He said the husband of the first lady has COVID, and then Jill Biden comes up and says something to him. She goes, "Oh, the first lady's fine." He says, "It's the first lady and her husband, the first gentleman." It was total nonsense. It was just one bungle after another.
Well, the guy has dementia.
No, he really does. I used to think that was just a put down on him. That he absolutely has it.
Blake's good till 10:30.
Oh, I'm gonna get right to him.
Throughout the morning and then wrapping up by later on this afternoon. I'm Fox 31.
Tom, the next break, could you put the temperature up a degree or 2? It's a little chilly in here. Are you a little chilly there, Mr.? Yeah, you are, because you're old. Bundled up as well.
See how that works.
Thank you.
I like it a little cooler, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable.
Take your radio with you. 630 KHOW is now available on multiple platforms and thousands of devices. Listen to Denver's talk station from anywhere. Stream online at KHOW.com.
But you know what?
An iHeart radio station.
This thing, man.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I want to go to Blake Harris again, attorney at law. So, Blake, bottom line is this. You're saying in the absence of a will, if it's gone, then it's as if they don't have a will. The 4 kids are going to inherit this house. And right now, if they each own a fifth of this house, she can do whatever she wants with her fifth, but the chances of it being marketable are slim to none.
Correct. But one thing I can add is, has this house been distributed to the kids yet? Is probate over? Has it not occurred yet?
Keith, you say it's going to it's happening as we speak, right?
Yes, yes.
And there is a probate.
Probate contacted us last week and said that needs to be done within the next 10 days. They want to close it out.
Okay. So what about that, Blake?
Okay, well, first of all, you can probably get an extension. I mean, it's very unusual for the court to really put pressure on anyone to close out the estate. It's just other beneficiaries or creditors who are going to be pushing it along. What the personal representative should do if this is the case is don't distribute a fifth of the house to all 5 beneficiaries. Put the house on the open market, and if one of the beneficiaries or 3 of the beneficiaries want to step up on the open market and purchase it, then through the estate will receive the funds and then distribute the funds among the beneficiaries. So in the absence of a will, just sell the property, and the beneficiaries can buy it provided they pay fair market value.
That ain't going to work.
Yeah, that's just one way of doing it. Or I guess you can get the house, and the 3 of you or the 4 of you can pay off the one that wants out.
No, sir, that's not going to work because I promised my parents that they wanted to keep the house because they built.
No, that's what we're saying, Keith. If the 4 of you want to keep it, then the 4 of you pay off the one who wants out.
Okay.
That's what you said. Your dad had provisions that you would buy out anybody who wants out. So if one of you want out, the 4 of you would buy them out. And if you can't buy them out, I guess here's the deal, Blake. What if they do nothing? That's what Keith was asking. If they just said, screw you, we're going to honor Dad, what can she do? She can try to sell her 1/5, and chances are she'll never be able to sell it, right?
Well, I mean, she's not going to be able to sell for close to fair market value or to close to 20% of the property. So as far as the other beneficiaries saying we're just going to do what we want, well, the court is going to appoint one of the beneficiaries as a personal representative, and that's done by majority rule. So the majority of the siblings can get together and vote in one of them to be personal representative. Then once the personal representative, the personal representative can just sell the property to the heirs who can afford to buy it, and then just distribute the funds and basically buy her out before she even owns the property.
But if they don't do that, then what?
If they don't do that, if they just distribute the property to her, then you're her with 1/5 ownership, and she can hold on to it for as long as she wants, shy of some unusual circumstances where the court would intervene.
So, Keith, you guys can take your chances, distribute her 20%, and then see if she will sell. And I don't think anybody would buy it, Keith.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the things I was also thinking about, Tom, was, the house is paid for in the land.
Right.
And our second choice, if need be, is to take another mortgage out and pay her back.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Of course. And that's a small mortgage, and your son can make those payments since he's living there.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I mean, is he making payments now to the estate for living there?
We're charging him $400 a month, and that's going into the trust.
Okay. Well, wait, you do have a trust, Keith?
Yes, we have a trust, yes.
Hold on. Is the house in the trust?
I don't know. I don't know, Tom.
That trust, Keith, that trust might be all you need. You don't even need the will if you have a trust. Do you have a trust document you can read?
The trust was actually created by the probate court.
Oh, what is that? That doesn't make sense to me, does it, Blake? The trust was created.
That could happen, but that's pretty rare, and outside of some compelling reasons, such as like a disabled beneficiary or minor beneficiary, or some instructions to that account, to that direction. I'm curious about what that is, because that does seem very strange.
Keith, probate created a trust for you guys?
Yes, and yes.
Who's the trustee? Who's the trustee?
My as far as in the court or with my family.
Who's in charge of the trust according to the trust document?
My twin brother, Kevin.
Okay, so get a hold of the trust document and see what it says. I mean, I don't even know who gave them directions to create a trust.
And is the house in the name of the trust or dad's name?
You know what? I'm sorry. everybody. I could be wrong on this. My brother has said trust.
Okay, listen, Blake Harris.
I could be wrong, and
Blake Harris has to run. Here's the thing, Keith. I don't think just between you and me. I don't think that the trust. It's hardly ever happens. The only time a trust is created by probate, the only time, is if there is a minor involved or a disabled heir, and the trust is created for them to protect their interests.
Okay.
I don't think a trust, but go and find out, or get someone on who knows a little more about it. But right now, the way it is this. I know that what he said. Blake Harris said, before the house is transferred to the five of you, the personal representative can put it for sale. And after sale, distribute the funds. Now, that's not an option because you guys don't want to do that. So the next option, you can put it up for sale at fair market value, and then the four of you buy it from the estate, and then that sister is out. She gets her share of the money and she's gone. Okay? So basically that's another way of doing it. And again, when you buy it from the trust, you're buying it from yourself. You guys get all your money back except for the part going to her. Or you can all take your fifth and just take your chances that she's not going to be able to do anything because she can't force you to sell it. She can only sell her fifth, her 20%. Who's going to buy 20% of a house?
Somebody that's crazy.
Yeah, that could be. Now, Keith, the other thing, I like what you said. The four of you get together and you get a mortgage and you pay off that one that wants out. Now you have the house for the family. And if you want, you can charge your son some rent on that.
Okay.
But feel free to call us back, sir, when you find out from your twin brother if there are any kinds of trust documents or anything we don't know about. Feel free to call us back.
This is Denver's Talk.
Yeah. You can't force the other half.
In a divorce, you can.
Well, why is this any different?
Because it's not a divorce.
But
Okay,
sponsored by Kelly.
In a divorce, the judge says you owe her this and that. You can buy her out, but you have to either buy her out or sell it, right?
Right.
Okay.
So why is this any different?
Well, here's why. Because in an estate, you have four of them that don't want to sell it.
I understand that.
Well, okay, four of them don't want to sell it. One can't make them sell it.
Okay.
It's that simple. I mean, if you had four of them and they all wanted to sell it, they can sell it because it's not a marriage with two people where a court is saying to buy property. The court, the estate's not saying to buy property. They never have to divide it, or they can divide it. They can give it all to one. But if the will, not the will, but probate, and that's, I'll tell you what, that's a miracle that they all agreed to take a fifth, because that woman could have claimed, well, he promised me more. You know, the last thing they want is a public trustee.
Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. I love Colorado Pain Care. You can find out about them at coloradopaincare.com. And I say find out about them because you want to know a location near you. They have multiple locations in the Denver area. There are two big locations in Denver and Lakewood. They also have office hours from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening for your convenience, and same-day appointments available for really serious cases. Call them, 303-GOT-PAIN. They deal with pain. They get your life back, and they can work with all major insurance. 303-GOT-PAIN. If you're feeling the pain of a DUI or an accusation for any crime, I could say shame on you. You can prevent a DUI with, designated driver and ride share, and that's all true. But right now, if you need an attorney for any reason to get you out of a jam or to get you through the system, maybe you're guilty and you just want to get through the system, don't shop when you're under pressure. I know Joe Lazzara. I've known him for 30 years. You can trust him. Flat rate pricing, free initial consultations, Joseph A. Lazzara. Call him, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200.
Social Security question.
So, you know, in this case, the House was left to all four. All five. The judge cannot say, sell it, if four of them want to keep it.
Okay.
But they can't keep each other from selling their share.
But they have to, but like they said, no one's going to buy a fifth.
Right. Now, let's say it was half and half. Half wanted to sell. You can't with five, but let's say there was a situation where half want to sell and half don't. And they're at a stalemate. That would be the most unfortunate, because if the courts assign a public administrator, they're fucked. You know what? They're the dirtiest, nastiest motherfuckers. You know what they would see? They'd see that house and say, let's sell it. And then the administrator gets a lot. They just charge their bills. They charge so much, and then the heirs have no choice but to sell them. When they do, they get diddly squat.
Right. He said his deceased sibling will give peace to his niece.
Yeah.
How old is that niece? Maybe that's where that
could be. She could be a minor. If she is, that's why there was a trust. But it's only for her interest.
Yes.
And so I don't know why they would pay rent to that trust. I think Keith is a little confused as to the structure, but man, if the dad started a trust, that would be altogether different.
Your financial condition, whether it's paying off high interest debt or funding a home renovation, it doesn't matter.
You tell Joe, I'll get to him.
The system screwed herself. If she's the one that stole the will, she's stuck with a fifth of a property that she can't sell.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
She did kind of screw herself.
Because she probably thought, as I did.
Because if the will said, if one wants out, you have to buy her out,
right?
They would have no choice.
And I thought that
she stole the will, she could have screwed herself.
I bet you a lot of people thought, as I did, that
one
party can force the other to sell. But that's good to know. But since I only have one kid, it doesn't matter.
303-695-7000 or online AmericanFinancing.net. MLS 122334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Hi, Cindy with Sunlight Windows and Doors. Great news. For a short time, buy 3 windows and get the fourth one free, and save up to $1,600 on our amazing entrance doors.
Now, you have kids from 2 marriages, right?
What's that?
Did you have kids from 2 marriages?
No.
Just 1 marriage? Okay.
Like your feet or stepping on broken glass, sharp pain, or tingling in your feet or hands are symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. Are you taking drugs like Lyrica or gabapentin, but they never...
I imagine that would be a very difficult thing when you have kids from 2 different marriages.
Or then you marry somebody who has kids. That gets very complicated.
Yep.
Parsing out what's yours, what's theirs, what's theirs, what's theirs. One dad might say, I built up this for my kid, and if I give it half to you, then you give it to your kids. What the fuck's that all about?
Exactly. People do say exactly that. They get wicked about that stuff.
And Keith is distressed because he feels like he's dishonoring his father if they sell that house.
Right.
Now, I wonder if the others feel that way, because if she eats away at them and gets them all to want to sell, well, he can still, he doesn't have to sell his part.
Right, there's nothing.
They have to be unanimous to sell that.
According to Blake, there's nothing they can do.
Right, it's not majority. It's got majority rules. Man.
But her dad did the right thing. He had the will in a metal box.
He had the will, and he had his direction, supposedly. But I don't know.
So maybe the moral of the story is have 2 copies and keep one with your attorney.
Denver's talk station.
Well, but even though he said it should stay in the family, eventually, if the siblings want, they can sell it if they agree unanimously.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Don't be underinsured like the many people in Marshall Fire they can't rebuild. It's a tragedy. It really is. And then some of you probably have coverage and you can't, you're paying too much for what you have, or your coverage is dwindling. Get a free insurance checkup, no obligation, and it's totally complimentary. And they'll examine your policy to make sure you're covered and to make sure you're not paying too much. That's the Insurance Help Center. 303-996-9000, Compass Insurance, 303-996-9000. Now let's talk to Margaret. Margaret, what's going on? What's happening, Margaret?
Hi, Tom. So I know you like to get through things quick, so
Well,
I'm going to try to put this in a
sometimes
nutshell.
I do if it's an easy problem. But go ahead.
Okay, so I had an electrician who came to my house who I really, really liked, did a couple of things for me. Then I had some issues with plumbing, and so I had to redo my bathroom, and so they came back for me. And then I needed an upgrade on my my panel because it was only like 12 spots, and it needed to be much bigger in order to do things to code. So anyhow, the electrician was supposed to pull the permit to rewire the bathroom and then at a later date upgrade the much bigger panel for the entire house. They failed to correct code violations, and Pueblo has pulled their license to work in Pueblo County and told me that I now need to hire another electrician and pay them to do the work that I already paid for.
How much did you pay? You had an electrician. Did that electrician finish the bathroom?
Okay, so what happened was, so to make this all make sense, back in 2018, I had thyroid cancer, then COVID hit, then I lost my job, then the pipes froze under my house completely. I needed a new, I needed all of the pipes done. I didn't have a toilet or water for 6
but
months.
I don't need to know all about that. Really, I don't, Margaret. What I need to know is, what did the electrician do and what did they not do for the payment received?
Okay, well, so, but again, this all goes back to
Okay, but you're talking
being
about plumbing and
relevant.
COVID. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So
No, go ahead.
The plumbing inspector would not do the plumbing inspection until I pulled an electrical permit. So they had to come back and they did just the bathroom part. But the problem was...
Who did just the bathroom
the
part?
electrician.
Okay,
the
so
electrician.
the electrician
and then
did...
I paid... Then I...
The
then
electrician,
I had them come back.
Margaret, the electrician completed the bathroom or not?
Completed the bathroom,
Okay.
but because my box, because of
Right.
code, it had to be on one line going into the box.
Right.
My box wasn't big enough, so I had to have them come back and do a upgrade on my panel.
Okay, did you pay for that upgrade on the panel?
I did, and
Okay.
I don't have.
So
I
the
didn't
answer to
look
my
at
question,
checking
see,
account.
it was real simple. The electrician you hired to do the bathroom and the panel, they did the panel, they did the bathroom, they did not do the panel, and you already paid for it. How much did you pay?
No. They did do the panel, but they didn't complete the work. There was other things that they failed 3 times, and so they got on the regional got on the phone with them and said, "You need to correct this." And the guy goes, "Well, that's minuscule. I'm not coming back."
Okay.
And they're like, "It's code.
So
you
they
have
did.
to come
How
back."
much did you pay for the bathroom and the panel?
I don't have the whole total. I
Okay.
have to go back into my
Okay.
account and
You-
look
but
at that.
they-
But I paid them in full to do everything.
Margaret,
Everything.
I get it. But you said in the beginning that they said you had to hire someone to do a job you already paid for. Perhaps what they meant is you simply have to hire someone to correct those minor problems for the inspector. I don't know what they meant. Like, do you have to hire someone to do everything you paid for, or just a small part of it?
No, a small part of it, but I don't have the money to do that.
Okay.
I already paid these other people
I get
to do
it.
this.
How, and approximately what did you pay them?
I don't know, altogether with everything, maybe 6,000-8,000. I have to go back and look at my records.
Just the electrical, 6,000 to 8,000.
Something like that.
Okay, fine. Don't get frustrated. I just need general information. What did the inspector say needed to be done to correct it? Did he give you a list?
Yes, he told me that there's something on the roof, like a boot that needs to be done.
Minor?
And if I can put you on speaker, it comes to about $500 in parts and then labor. So it's going to be another $1,500 probably.
And you feel that should have been covered by the original amount you paid, and it probably should have. But this place lost its license and told you screw it. Now you're thinking they owe you some money, right?
I think that somebody needs to pay for the work that they didn't do.
But here's what I want to tell you, Margaret, and you're not going to want to hear it. And upgrading a panel does not include putting a boot on the roof. So there's no way that could have been included in the original. There's no way. I'm sorry. I mean, not that I know of.
It is. The Pueblo says that it is code and that they knew this and that
All right,
it was...
let's find out. Sometimes what they do, when they upgrade a panel, is they hang a new panel and they upgrade it and they go through the existing mast. I don't know what they included on their contract. Do you have their original contract for upgrading the box and what they included?
I probably have that somewhere too.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Although you sound very frustrated that I'm asking very black and white basic questions. Why, Margaret? Because I want to help you. I'm not trying to frustrate you, but it's not as easy as I paid them, they should cover this. It's not that easy. Perhaps that wasn't included in their bid. Now, Margaret, the inspector said it should have been included in their bid, right? Yes, it should have. Yeah. But if they did not, hold on, if they did not include it, then they did not charge you for it. Even though it should have been, if they did not, then they did not charge you for it. Now, if they did include it and they did charge you for it, then I'm going to go after them to get your money. But it's either one or the other. And you have to understand, I'm on your side. I'm trying to understand. Did you actually pay for that roof work or not?
Okay, so Regional says, yes, I did. And they said, and you can call Regional. You can call Pueblo Regional.
Did they look at your contract?
They did not look at the contract.
Then how would they know? How would they know that you paid for that?
Okay, because they told me that since they pulled the permit, that the electrician pulled the permit, that they are
responsible.
They are supposed to be withheld to do.
All right, hold on, just hold on. She is so confused, and people, I swear to God, I know what I'm talking about. This woman, she's not fucking listening. Okay, no. Even though they were supposed to do that. It doesn't mean they charged her for it. And people think if they were supposed to do it, then it should be included.
Of course. You're preaching to the choir. It's such a simple question. Either it's in the contract or it's not.
But Pueblo said they're supposed to. Yeah, they're supposed to.
Right.
But if they left it out because they're idiots, that doesn't mean they should pay for it.
I agree 100%. That's it. Like I say, it's such a simple question. Look at get the contract and call us back.
33 with your impact traffic and weather. Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW. Your happiest spring starts at Lowe's. Save $30 on the Craftsman 20-volt trimmer blower combo kit. Was $129, now $99.
You know, these people call up with insufficient information.
Well, she has great information. She just doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Well, no, she doesn't have the contract, so she can't answer your question.
Frank Duran, the real estate man.com. Frank is the team. Team Duran with Remax Alliance. He's the one you want to hire to either buy property or sell your house. And you know what? Here's what's great. He won't hold you to a long-term contract because he is confident he will make you happy every day. Frank Duran has statistics that he showed me that proves he sells for more money, and faster than the market average. He does, and he has a unique way of positioning your property. Don't lose out. Get Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. And when you're doing real estate, don't ever go through real estate without at least having an attorney look at some documents, whether commercial or residential. O'Brien Legal Services is the team to call. Brad O'Brien and his team. They can look over all of your documents, or they can help you with border disputes, easements, eminent domain, or anything that comes up. Adverse possession, OLSlaw.com for all your real estate needs. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388.
Did you know nearly 1 million knee replacements were done in 2017, and that number is expected to reach
0.6 million in 2030. I'm Dr. Allen with Restore Osteo Colorado. At RestoreOsteo.com, discover our unique Healthy Knee protocol an alternative approach to improving health.
That's a new number for Jordan, is it? It's not the 779-6600.
By visiting RestoreOsteo.com. That's RestoreOsteo.com.
With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union is offering 1%.
That's the number that was on the referral list.
Oh, okay.
So, what is it, 779?
I don't know. I don't know which one.
But he has to drop off for 15 minutes at 11. Then he's going to be back on at 11:15.
Okay, then I'll take.
And then at noon, Joe's coming on via telephone.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I can only get them on. I mean, I gotta get callers that waited. She waited before, right?
Restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Belting for everyone.
No one appreciates the American dream as much as Romanian immigrant Mitch Floria. He arrived with just $300 in his pocket, started Art of Granite, now serves the entire Front Range and mountain communities. A direct stone importer who passes wholesale prices on to his customers for all countertops. Completed in just 2 weeks, including quartz. Bathroom free when you have the kitchen done. Tear out and haul away free. Get a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
But the simple question is, does she have the contract? Right?
Yeah, but her contract probably doesn't even say anything except upgrade panel. And if that's the case, then maybe they should pay for it.
But are they still in business if they lost their license?
They can still pay for it.
Well, what if the business is bankrupt? If the business is closed and opened under a new name, she's out of luck, right? Is that true, Tom?
Probably. Depends on how they did it. Normally, when a company loses its license or has a license issue like that, they can work to get it back. I mean, if they just go under completely, then she's fucked.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Well, that's the good and the bad about corporate shields.
Yeah, but without them, we wouldn't have any business.
Oh, I know. I said it's the good and the bad about it. See, but like when I was in corporation, it didn't matter.
I know it's professional.
Yeah, because if you're a PC.
I don't even know why they do PCs. I really don't.
I think there was some tax advantage, but as far as economic responsibility, it didn't matter. I mean, if I closed down my PC, I was still responsible for any malpractice claims, regardless of what the status of the corporation was.
Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910 or visit WePipe.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Al Martino here. Let's just talk now. Now, Margaret, here's what I want to recap. If you hire a company, say, upgrade my panel, there are certain things included in upgrading that panel. If your contract simply says, we're going to upgrade your panel, if that's what it says, then they're probably going to be responsible for everything involved, including the boot on the roof and everything. But if they simply said what they were going to do for you in the contract, see, the more vague the contract, the better it is for you. But if they said in the contract, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and they did not include the boot on the roof, even though they were supposed to, just like when a guy does a roof, if you do a roof, and you're supposed to do the flashing to pass inspection, but you did not include the flashing in the contract, then technically they did not charge you for it. And therefore, that roofer could come back and say, in order to pass inspection, we need to put the flashing up. You need to pay for that. We never charge you for it. If these guys, it depends on your contract with these guys. If they took money for that and did not do it, then they should do it. The inspector has no idea what your contract says. The inspector is simply saying, in a normal upgrade, this boot is usually included. But then we have to ask the question, is it a new boot that's needed, or did your old boot wear out? Because they could use your existing mast. And I don't care what the inspector says. In an upgraded panel, they are not required to do the mast. Not that I know of. I've had upgraded panels, and they left the same mast there. And you're saying they were supposed to put a new mast in there, right?
Yeah, and there was something else that was missing, and I can look that up for you, but it's another thing that to pass inspection. Now, the problem is that we can't get a hold of the guy. I've been texting him. Regional's been calling him. He got nasty with Regional. He hung up on them.
Yeah, he's a jerk. And I hope he's not going out of business, because then we're going to have a tough time collecting from him if we need to. I'm going to have Deputy Doc call down to the regional building inspector to ask them what they mean, like what is needed. Because if it's a boot, like, I don't know, was your existing boot on the roof around the base?
No.
Was there one on there? Or, see, here's what we have to do. We have to call, okay, and figure out this for you. And I'm going to have Deputy Doc call you back and get the information. Thank you. We got
coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
0303-713-TALK, including how to create income in your
retirement. How to create income. Listen, we have to work on that. I usually talk over that, okay, and it drowned me out. So have that music in the background until I. Okay, thanks.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Do you accidentally cut your daughter's bangs uneven? Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Look, that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, it's spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture themselves.
Huh?
Beauty is within. Oh.
C, look on the side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have to.
Ta-da! Twinsies.
I kind of love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt US Kids.
Tell me exactly what it is you want me to find out.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
Ask them.
W Denver and iHeartRadio
At regional.
on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for
What
music, radio, and podcast.
was missing
all in one
from that job? We understand some, and if they say the mask or the boot, ask them, is that because it was missing or worn from previously? Because people don't normally go in and just rebuild the fucking boot down.
What is the boot?
Okay, on the roof. Yeah. Okay. When you do a panel, the panel's here. Right. The roof is here, and this mast goes up through there and connects to the telephone pole.
Oh, okay.
If this mast on here has a boot, well, fuck, when they do a panel, they don't normally rebuild that whole fucking mast. They don't do it.
So the boot is just something.
Yeah, and they say, well, they should have done that. It's their responsibility. Well, yeah, it kind of is their responsibility when they're calling for inspection. But had they called for inspection the day before they rebuilt it, would it still be a fucking problem? That's what I'm getting at. If it was a problem a day before they rebuilt it, then it's a problem the day after. They did not do that. That was worn out. The point I'm making is, if they tell you, no, Tom, or no, Doc, they have, that's included in a brand, I'd be fucking shocked, okay? If they say no, when they rebuild that, they should do a whole new mast with a new boot and everything. But I don't think they're going to tell you that. I think what they did is inspected the fucking house and found more shit wrong with it, connected to the panel, but not necessarily their responsibility. That's the point. I'm trying to figure out, why did Regional say, well, they should have done that? Well, yeah, in a pure world, they should have done it, just like a roofer should have done something. A roofer should have done the gutters, right? But he didn't.
Ken Simonson with the National Association for Business Economics also says a majority of respondents to its survey expect the consumer
and
price
tell
index,
this
the most
this
widely
inspector,
watched
we're trying to help this lady.
to remain above 3% through 2023.
I just don't understand what she's saying. I'd like to ask an electrician.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to
I'm
find
going to try to
a
get an electrician on.
You can post your job to some
before I
job
talk to you,
No, not before. It has nothing to do with it. I just want to be educated on a rebuilt panel.
At ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Remember that commercial?
I'm going to get, I want a good question on that.
You can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
I got to call Stephanie.
K-How News Time, 11:03.
A University of Colorado expert is weighing in on the start of confirmation.
Hey, honey,
for U.S.
I got to ask you something. Do you have a spare tripod for your phone with the ring light, or just that one? Okay, I'm going to order one. Okay, that's all I need. It's bye, honey.
An easy
okay.
Looking for qualifications. She has to be one of the most qualified nominees that has been put forward.
Malveaux says she hopes the hearings won't turn into political theater. The proceedings got underway this morning on Capitol Hill. The Veterans Administration is recommending nomination of some rural Colorado facilities to focus more on the Denver and Colorado areas.
Not
report noted
approve her because you don't agree with her.
Those two areas. And Colorado Springs is
liberal stance.
Who's that?
The new judge that are.
That's right.
I mean, if she's qualified.
That's right. And that's the way it's always been. That's why
it should be. Yeah. I mean, you cannot. She's going to be more liberal than I would like.
Support is sponsored by.
But you got to find something other than you don't like that she might be liberal.
Right, she has to be approved. She's qualified.
But that tells you something about our laws, how they can be interpreted from here to here. It's the same law. Nothing's perfect, but I think this system of government is pretty fucking good that they had. The Congress who makes that damn law, the president who is executive, and then you have the courts who interpret it. That's really smart shit.
Checks and balances. It's why democracy has succeeded so far.
It's a beautiful idea.
6:30.
Oh man!
Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
When your back, neck, and joint pain, visit
so I just need a small one for the desk, probably.
That's 51.com. When disaster
These are all good.
You know what I would love to hear? I don't understand if the Saudi
caused by
except
weather
you
or
kind of love
you should create an emergency communication plan.
Here.
Check important cell phone contacts, including doctors, veterinarians, utilities.
So the ring light. Okay, so there.
Note local non-emergency numbers.
I don't know the difference in any of these, but
the height.
And make sure that person knows if you have medical issues.
That looks really
Also, make sure everyone in your house knows how to text.
Either way.
Check backup
Now,
batteries
what
for
does
all
it
your
say
phones
here?
and
Look at
fully
all the
charged
stars.
cell phones,
Good.
batteries, and rechargers. Sign
Only
up to receive
$32.
mobile phone alerts. Backup
This new
and
10-inch
print out
ring, okay, it's a big
personal
ring.
data. You might buy a battery
Much easier to
operated,
maneuver.
solar powered, or hand cranked radio.
Use AC/DC adapter. What does that mean?
Power plant in the wall, I run it off a battery.
But why would you need one? Oh, for the flight. Sorry.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Big Monday 4. Should the issue of biological males competing in girls and women's sports be a big issue in the upcoming Colorado
so
elections?
you can't
I say
use
yes.
power.
And the New York Times greenlighting the Joe Biden
Extending from 16. Oh, that's perfect. 16 inches to 50 inches. Okay, so we can do it there. We can do it on the floor. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna get it.
Come running just as fast as you can.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Don't forget realcbdthatworks.com really does work for pain, inflammation, anxiety. A makeup line with anti-inflammatory properties made right here in Golden, Colorado from Panacea Life, distributed around the country. We're lucky to have them here. You can get 40% for the rest of the month, 40% off. That's nearly half off all their products. Just use Tom in the promo code. Think about that. realcbdthatworks.com. All right, now, 303-713-8255. What's on your mind? Barney, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on? Barney?
Hello?
Hey, man. What's happening, Barney?
I'd like to know if you had an opinion of storage pods for moving.
Yeah, I like them if the company behind the pod is good. Okay? The pod is a good company.
Would avoid in the Denver area?
Well, I don't know. No, I don't actually know. I know this, Barney. It's a hell of a lot better than going on the internet and hiring a mover, because most movers are not movers. They're brokers who sell contracts, especially the ones out of Florida. There's probably a 99% chance of being ripped off if you use a broker out of Florida. There's probably a 90% chance of being ripped off if you use a broker from anywhere. And there's probably no chance of being ripped off with a pod with a good company, because you know they can truck the pod and they own the pod. I want the companies that own their pods and trucks, not one who owns the pods only and then does independent trucking. That's not what you want. And I don't know enough about the companies locally, but I will say this. What I like about the pods is you get the pod, you pack it yourself, or you hire people to pack it, you lock it up and you send it off, and then you unload it. I love the concept, okay? I love it. Now, I do love reputable movers who own their own trucks, who like Amazing Moves. I love Johnson Moving and Storage. I love Grable Van Lines, ones who have really good reputations and they own their own trucks. I don't like most movers, okay? So, Barney, you're on the right track. Where are you moving, Barney?
I'm moving out of Colorado. I'm beginning to not like it.
Where are you going, man?
About 500 miles away.
Do you know where? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Up in the borders of South Dakota, North Dakota, and Montana.
Beautiful country. Beautiful country. So anyway, what I want to know is, are you already in touch with a pod company?
No, I'm just looking them up.
Now, do you have land up there or a house or what?
I have a good place to land, yeah.
Really? Good. Well, I'm happy for you. Is that where your retirement is?
Yeah. I lived in Evergreen for 60 years.
You know, so...
I'm really tired of it.
You know, I'm telling you, man, what are you tired of? What are you tired of mainly?
Oh, all the crowds and traffic and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's gotten busy. It's a beautiful state, though. You're going to have a hell of a winter up there, you know.
Well, that's okay.
What a beautiful state Montana is. So if you go that border area right near Montana, the three corners there, which corner are you going to?
Into the southern western corner of North Dakota.
Okay, that's beautiful country. Beautiful country. So I would say I want people to weigh in on storage pods, and they're not called, what are they called? Are they called storage pods? What are they called? They're pods, but anyway, pods are great ideas, by the way. Now, who are you going to have loaded up?
I'll just do it myself.
How old are you, man?
I'm 66.
Oh, so you're not that old. You sound like an old fart for a while. You're not that old.
Yeah, all right.
So are you retired?
Yeah.
Dang. I wish I was going with you. Have a good time.
I'll call you when I get there.
Hey, no, call us if you do find a company. We'll check them out for you free of charge, okay? Seriously.
Right.
Okay, we'll do that for you. 303-713-8255. Tony, what's on your mind, Tony?
Yeah, so I got a friend's mom that lives up in Loveland.
Yeah.
And she was kind enough to open up her home to a friend of hers who had recently lost somebody to try to help her get back on her feet.
That spells
So
trouble.
Yep. So over the period of time, there's no contract, there's no lease agreement, anything like that. She more or less, this gal let her son move in, and now a friend's mom is asking them to leave, and she's under the impression.
What's your friend's name, Tony?
Her name is Annie.
Annie. And where does she live? What jurisdiction?
Well, she actually lives up in Michigan. She was talking to me about it over the weekend.
Okay,
her
so
mom lives in Loveland.
But okay, is it her mom that let someone in?
Yes.
Oh, it's Annie's mom. Okay. Annie's mom let a friend stay with them. I'm gonna tell you what the consequences are, Tony, and I want you to take some notes. I'll come back to you. Seriously, this is a serious issue, but she has to nip it in the bud. Jordan Chiano is with mymoneymyway.com, and I love the website because it says everything. How you want your money taken in retirement, how you want it. And Jordan, I want to cut through all the bull. I want to ask you a question, okay? Something I never asked you before because I'm asking for myself too. Annuities are really getting popular right now. People want to buy a secure income, and literally that's what they're doing. They're trading a lump sum of money for income, meaning that the lumps, well, why don't you explain it? Explain it, Jordan. Explain what happens with a lump sum of money, whether you've done it through the years or you do it in one plop. Explain what happens and why it turns into guaranteed income.
Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. I mean, you're basically offsetting the risk of outliving your money by giving it to an annuity. You're able to give them a lump sum of cash. It'll grow while the S&P 500's up. So anytime the market's up, you're going to get the returns. But anytime the market comes down or crashes, with these programs these days, you don't ride the market down. Your money gets locked in. So clients are sick of riding that up and down roller coaster with their 401ks.
But you do, but as with everything, though. Oh, go ahead. Yep. First, as they retire, then what?
Yeah, as they retire, once they decide to flip that switch on, you hit it right on the head. They're going to get a paycheck for the rest of their life, no matter how long they live.
The more money in, the more money out, right? That's logical, right? And the longer it festers, the more they get. So it's the amount and the time. The amount and the time. The more amount, the more time, the better. The less amount, less time, the worse. But no matter what, any amount can be turned into income. However,
that's right.
However, there are some disadvantages. I say, well, like you can't get the lump sum back, right? Or an emergency.
Correct.
Well, explain that.
Well, so that's where I'd say the downside to this program would be if somebody's looking to take all the cash out. That's just not going to work. Even with the 401k, you wouldn't even really want to do that anyway because you pay some massive taxes. But ideally, that's the downside of this. Is you put it in here, the goal is to grow it. The company will let you take up to 10% out every year without turning on that income if you ever needed some cash and you didn't want to flip the income on quite yet. So there are ways to work around it.
And when you take out that 10%, do you pay income tax on that?
Exactly, just depending on what the funds are. If it was a Roth account, it'd be tax-free. If it was a 401k or a regular IRA, then yes, they'd pay taxes on it.
Okay. Now, I had an account where someone told me I should buy an annuity with it. And I don't know why they said that, because it's a retirement plan. And they said, Tom, instead of taking your pension, you should take the lump sum and put it in an annuity. Why would they tell me that?
Most likely, if it's a pension you have.
Yes, I do.
The beautiful thing, the pensions are beautiful because not a lot of companies offer them, but usually the downside to a pension is what happens when you pass away. That's one piece to it. And the second piece that is also a downside to a regular pension is how reliable is the company? Will it be around for another 10, 20, 30 years? You know, so when you look at when you pass away, the first part, they have what's called spousal benefits. So most people will elect spousal benefits, which just mean that if you passed away, if you elected spousal benefits, you're going to take a pay cut out of your regular pension paycheck to leave some money behind for your spouse. And that's all good and done. But what happens when you and your spouse pass away, that's the issue. If there was still money that was left in that pension, it doesn't go to the heirs. It doesn't go to the kids.
Oh,
so this
very
is
good.
why people
Okay.
like these accounts.
All right. We have more from mymoneymyway.com plus all of your calls. And I'm going to get to Tony's problem. His friend's mom, or the mom, she let someone stay with them. Uh-oh. We're going to find out the downside to that coming up.
We've had a couple of calls about that, where people do that and get screwed. When they let people move in.
That was good. See, I talked over that, so that was good. It wasn't too
I'm
loud.
Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free class, Taxes in Retirement, on Thursday afternoon.
No, Doc, I'm
March
sorry.
31st.
What,
That's it. I've
For
had
more
that before, where
information,
people
go
let
to
other
register
people move in
Colorado.com.
and get screwed
That's right.
without a lease or any contract.
Okay, so I'm getting this one. I was thinking of just getting one right now and then ordering him separate if we like it. What do you think? The art of granite.
That is the art of doing countertops, I like to say, because that's what he does. Countertops. Not just granite either. Any natural stone, any man-made material. And here's the best part. You get a price on the phone. But let me just tell you something about him. He tears out and hauls away the old job free of charge. Not many do that. He'll do the bathroom vanity free when you do the kitchen. And prices on the phone. Wholesale on all materials, so he's charging you for fabrication and installation. So call him with a description of your job, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919. If you have any kind of insurance claim on your home, you need to call Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Now, why am I saying that? Because it's almost a sure thing you're not going to be treated fairly by your insurance company, and you'll always get more with a public adjuster than you will get on your own. You'll have enough to do all of your repairs and overhead and have money left, and that's legal when it's negotiated in a lump sum. But you will be shortchanged if you don't use a public adjuster. It's that easy. I swear to God, I'll stake my reputation on it because I've been doing this for 40 years. The very first public adjuster many years ago came to me, Ralph Samala, and I thought he was a nut, and he turned out to be a genius. He was at the forefront of this. Now, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado is carrying on this tradition with Joel and his team, and I'm going to tell you something. They will review any claim you have and let you know what they think free of charge, what you should be getting free of charge, and if they can help you free of charge, they will give you that information. And if they do get money for you, you only pay a small portion, a contingency fee. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado for the fires, the major fires, the fringe damage, kitchen fires, plumbing, burst pipes, hail, wind. 720-715-0000, or go online, coclaims.com. All right, let's talk about refinancing. Do you know why a lot of people aren't refining? Because the rates went up. Do you know those rate increases still don't mean a lot for people that are about, I say 4 or 5%. There's still 60% of the people out there could benefit from a refinance is what I'm saying. And with Ideal Home Loans, not only will you get a lower payment or a shorter term or both, or pull out cash for high interest debt or a combination, not only that, but you get an interest rate guarantee. That means Ideal will refinance you free of charge if rates go down as little as 0.75% over the next 2 years. And they also have a pre-approval, which puts you at the top of the heap as a cash buyer because you already have the money. You're approved and it's set aside for you. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
I hit next. I didn't want to do it again because
But you can plan long-term care coverage to give peace of mind to you and your family. Hey, it's Mandy Connell,
I just added this to my cart. Where the fuck is
long-term care is to join my friends from 525 Advisors for the upcoming free long-term care planning live webinar this Thursday afternoon at 4. You'll learn so
Do you think I should just get 2 right away or what? What do you think?
how long-term care works.
I don't know.
The coverage pays for
I kind of think get one. Let's see how it works out.
Okay.
We're still looking at considering other kinds of cameras too. So we don't want to just jump off the ledge and have all this stuff and then turn around and do it a different way.
Okay.
Just like they're doing for my husband and me right now. I love how much time they've spent with us, and it's not just me. Read the reviews. People love working with Brian and Madeline at 525 Advisors. So get the great peace of mind long-term care coverage gives you. Sign up now for the free live webinar this Thursday afternoon at 4. Sign up at 525longtermcare.com. That's 525longtermcare.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Because I want to start using it too. He said he was going to do it. So we were going to have Microsoft and Adobe both paid by referral list so we can all use it.
You can fight back. Gold IRA from Birch Gold. You can protect your retirement from this outright theft. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm one of the Birch Gold's many happy customers. To learn how to set up your own gold IRA, text the word SHELTER to 98.
And also, I'm entering the referral list card onto Amazon for stuff that I buy for the studio. Oh, I'm sorry.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Temperatures for your Monday in the upper 30s and low 40s with breezy conditions.
Susan, I was going to, just for stuff we buy for the studio here, the referral list card, but it's asking for the name on the card. Each of them put in our names like Tom.
Selling brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with
And it's called, no, I have it, but is it Tom Martino, then Thomas Martino? Okay.
50% off select queen bags. Shop now and save.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Mark and I use it all the time. And he's paying it. I mean, we're paying it from referral list, but he had it on his, I had it on mine. We decided to combine them on the card.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, so, Tony, here's what we found out, okay? Oh, man, this is sticky. Okay. Annie's mom has a friend stay. How long did that friend stay?
Oh, I never did ask, but from what she was saying, it's been quite some time.
It can only, even if it's only a few days, if that friend is receiving mail there, is the friend receiving mail?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Is the friend who's staying there, is the freeloader receiving mail?
Yes, they are.
Okay. If the freeloader is receiving mail or had any Amazon deliveries or used that address on any application or ever called it their address, that woman is screwed. She's a tenant now. Is the tenant, the freeloader, paying money?
Honestly, Tom, I didn't ask that.
Okay. It kind of doesn't matter so much. She still has to evict the person. Okay? A full-scale eviction.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. Now, there are some people who say just what you could do is just ask her to leave. Say, hey, listen, we let you stay here. Your son is in here now. I really want you to leave. Now, if they leave voluntarily, no big deal, okay? But if they don't leave voluntarily, or if she says, oh, I need a few months, it's going to be hard on me, I can't do it, blah, 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 then she's going to have to go through an eviction. Hey, Suze, Suze, I forgot to ask. Does Brad O'Brien do evictions? He does real estate stuff. Does he do evictions?
I don't think he does, but I can ask.
Ask him. Just ask him. And if not, it shouldn't be hard to do an eviction, but she should hire an attorney. But you see, Tony, that's going to be the problem. If she doesn't leave voluntarily, then you move to the eviction. But you don't have to move to the eviction immediately. Now, you said that would probably be a problem. Why?
Well, to my understanding, she's already asked them to move out, and they're denying it. They're saying, no, they're not moving out.
Oh, my God. How old is Annie's mom, the landlord?
I'd have to say she's probably mid-60s.
Okay, she's not that. It's not like she's got dementia or anything. And the people staying with her, how does she know the woman that she let stay with her?
She's an old friend of hers. You know, I mean, it's just
okay.
Like I said, it was out of the kindness of her heart.
And how old is the son?
Honestly, don't know.
Okay.
So the conversation was just, quick in passing.
Yeah. Well, Tony,
why don't you have Annie's mom give us a call?
Yeah, either have her give us a call directly, or Tony, you can relay the information. And here's the bottom line: if they don't leave voluntarily, which they didn't, she's going to have to post and do an eviction legally, and she has to do it legally to make it stick. And then they can literally move her out. Now, if in the meantime this woman does anything at all, anything to threaten her, or she feels threatened by the woman or her son, she can do a restraining order and get him out immediately. Okay, so call us back, Tony. I'm concerned, okay? You can use the number 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466, and just say, we are the ones who talked to you about Annie's mom, and we'll know what it is. Let's talk about a screaming deal from Tyler, Premier Window Washing and Premier, I'll say it, just give me a break. Premier, you got a long name, but I love it. It's Premier. Premier Window Washing and Power Washing, or window cleaning services and pressure washing. And I'll give out the number, so get ready. But here's what I said about these guys. Out of high school, they made this company. It's a great company. Tyler founded it. He brought on his friend Nick. They developed their own cleaning solutions. They do windows inside and out for extraordinary prices. And once they come to your house, they also will do all of your inside glass at no extra charge. And if you want, of course, they can do power washing of your stucco or brick or your driveways and garage. And that's, I'm going to give the number, but you're called in with a special, and I don't understand why, since your prices, honest to God, your prices are screaming deals anyway. I think I had my whole house done. I don't know, man. It was extraordinary, 600 or so. It was incredible what you did. I mean, the inside and out, and all of the mirrors and all of the glass tops. What are you going to do now?
So we're going to do 10% for springtime, but it's only if you call for today. We're booking up pretty fast right now. April's looking pretty full right now, but I'm just trying to get our schedules. All the guys are excited to work.
You're going to do 10% off your already low prices, but they have to book today. They don't have to have it done today. They just have to call and book today. Extraordinary, extraordinary, Tyler. Are you guys, what do you do in the snow like this?
Yes, so right now we're sitting inside the office going over all of our marketing, stuff like that. And, you know, next year we're going to be going to snow removal.
Oh, good, good. So you'll add snow removal, pressure washing, and window cleaning. So here's the deal. Book the window cleaning for spring cleaning. Get 10% off. I'm going to give you the number. You have to call today, anytime today, and you can book in the future here, 10% off. But you got to call today, 303-564-5574. 303-564-5574.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino. Now, Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30, KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
We've got a crash south on I-25. It's blocking the right lane after Spear. We're pretty heavy from 38 Park Avenue. Snow on the roadway on I-25 down through the gap. Accident westbound I-70 before I-225. It's backing us up on the main line and on Pena. Eastbound I-70 clears the wreck between Kipling and Wadsworth. Accident southbound on Hampton after Rollin Valley Drive. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Snow for today and tomorrow. Highs up to about 40. Overnight lows around 30. Mostly sunny on Wednesday at 50. And it's going to warm up again on Thursday. Sunshine and 65 degrees. Right now it's 32 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Dustin Ritchie. 6:30 KHOW.
Sign up for Lowe's MVP's Pros Awards and Partnership Program and get exclusive rewards to help level up your business. Program subject to terms and conditions, valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty terms, subject to change.
Let's talk about the liquid loan. It's the most amazing loan you ever want to see. Here's the bottom line. You get a loan on your house. So let's say you owe $350 on your house. It pays it off. That $350 sits there now, and you have a line of credit. So you can pay down that $350 if you get some extra cash, or if you have more equity, you can borrow another $50 and then pay it back down. And every month, you only have to pay simple interest, which is a very low payment based on like whatever percentage it is. It's really low. So think about that. You can pay only interest if you're going to stay in your house 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You shouldn't pay principal. There's no reason to. Or if you decide after 5 years, yeah, we're going to stay here, honey, let's put money down on the principal, you can do that. The best part is you pay your house off faster than you would on a regular loan, and you have a constant line of credit for 30 years. That's right, theliquidloan.com, only from Affordable Interest Mortgage. What a great thing to have. That's AImortgage.net, or I like theliquidloan.com, 720-895-0500. All right, you know that I love when a company does a good job. Renew Home Innovations does a great job on your bathrooms. They will renew that entire tub shower area. They'll completely renew it. Why? Because they are Renew Home Innovations. They'll do a complete big rectangle shower, no threshold, easy access for walkers or wheelchairs. They have wall systems that look like stone or granite without maintenance, and they have beautiful American Standard fixtures. Why don't you call them for a free bid? They can get started immediately. RenewHomeInnovations.com. No supply chain issues. 303-904-2000. Special prices, special financing for seniors and veterans. 303-904-2000.
With a new year comes new ways to save big.
Now, see, that was my fault. I did it twice because I didn't think it took. The reason I did renew, you can mark Mile High done because he was on the show, and I plugged him and all that, so we always make up for that, okay? So I put in one of my own inventory, which I have.
Restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Belco. Banking for everyone.
Floor, basement, or garage? Brian here with Advanced Mud Jacking. I've been lifting concrete in Colorado for over 30 years. We use cement, nothing toxic. Advanced Mud Jacking, 303-424-9441. Advanced Mud Jacking at yahoo.com.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right, receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat common to complex issues, including infections, flu, pneumonia, migraines, dehydration, UTIs, COPD.
Oh, so did you see that Brad does do evictions?
Good. Thank you.
DispatchHealth.com to learn more. And now, Dispatch Health has advanced capability to deliver IV fluids and
Any interesting comments to leave?
Not really.
I had some bullshit on there, personal attacks over the weekend. I just deleted.
Personal attacks on you? For what?
Clowns be clowns, wherever they're at.
Don't be that person that says this.
Okay, turn that off for a second, just real quick. Here's the thing.
Doors. Simply put, we make people happy by being particular, just like you. 800-362-8370.
If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real, lasting relief now with natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Michael Brown. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative solutions that can restore and repair damaged tissue. No surgery and no drugs. This is the relief you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a doctor with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success, life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, and non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics right now in Colorado. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call them today. 303-900-8986.
What's up, Nuggets fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a mid-game adjustment. Orchard lets you move into your new home before you even sell your old one. Orchard turns you into a cash buyer so you can win in a competitive market. And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but new rules. So get out there and win the home you want.
Orchard, the new way to home, is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. Get started at Orchard.com.
Denver's talk station.
Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, man, if you want to have I'm telling you, those guys at Premier Window, I would say that's more than real. They did the best job I ever had on my windows, and they're doing 10% off, 303-564-5574, 10% off. You book today, you get 10% off, and they're already low. I mean, that's incredible, 303-564-5574. Okay, let's go to the phones again. And Jordan is with us again. And somebody had a question about the annuity. So, Jordan, we talked about an annuity giving you income. What? And I want to know this, Jordan, because I want people to. I love the new annuities because they're not. They used to have a bad reputation. Why did annuities have a bad reputation?
You know, a lot of them were just based off of very, very low interest rates that you couldn't really, you can almost do better at the banks.
And high fees, right?
Yeah, and high fees. And so you're locked up. You didn't get much. So people were better off in the stock market. But nowadays, the market's been a little crazy. These annuities gotten better, like you mentioned. Not only do they give you great growth potential, that's as good as the 401ks or anything, or even better, I should say, but they also have long-term care benefits tied to them. And I think the companies started recognizing that, hey, you know what, there's a gap that these clients are needing, and that is not only income, but for the what if, that if they needed long-term care, they needed living assistance, these plans have it built in as well.
So it's like anyone, even a private employed individual can do their own pension, so to speak, because that's what it becomes.
Correct.
Now,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so, but I'm going to ask you this again. I'm asking you the hard question. This is a hard question.
Okay.
What is the minimum time you should even consider locking up money Now, a lot has to do with the amount, obviously, $1 million bucks, $1 million. But let's say for 500,000 or less, what would be the minimum amount of time to really get something out of it?
You know, again, it kind of ties into their age and when they're retiring. But I would say to really make it worthwhile, you know, probably anywhere between 5 to 10 years would be kind of the ideal range if they're looking at 500,000, and if they've got that time, you know, 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Now, if they're more on a fixed spot and they don't have Social Security, they don't have other things, and that, then they might have to let it sit there and grow closer to that 10-year mark.
Okay. Now, Jordan, you mentioned age. What does age have to do with festering? If I'm 45, can I take it in 10 years, or do I have to be a certain age?
No, you could take it whenever. I was just
okay.
Well, let's put it this way. Yeah, you could take it whenever. But yeah, I was just kind of more looking at it as retirement age.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you decide to retire at that point.
All right, mymoneymyway.com to find out more about that retirement option, which is buying income. Deputy Doc bought income years ago. You bought an annuity, Doc.
I got an annuity, and I was getting 7% on my money.
And it was growing.
It was growing. I also had, it's a 3% cost of living every year.
And, oh, no, hold on. That's on the benefit. But on the money, you were growing 7%, right?
Well, I was getting 7% return on the money.
Right. Then you turned on the income.
I got an immediate annuity.
What?
So as soon as I put the money in, I was getting the annuity the next month.
Oh, my God.
Which you can do.
Yeah, if you have enough money. But and I'm not searching. I'm just saying. Right. So you immediately got it. Were you still making 7% while taking income?
Yeah.
Wait, so...
No, I wasn't making 7%. I was getting 7% of...
The amount?
Of the amount.
Oh, and it was growing, though, every year, right, still?
No. The amount was fixed, but I was getting a 7% return on it.
Okay, well, okay. I'm confused.
So let's say I put in $100,000.
Right, let's say.
Then I would get $7,000 every month. Or $7,000 a year.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, but then the remaining money was still earning interest.
Correct.
Is that right, Jordan? If you buy a lump sum like that?
Yeah, for the immediate ones, they're a little bit different. Like he's like Dr. Like the
Deputy Doc.
Doc there. Thank you. Tongue twister. But yes, basically for his 3% step up, that's what's increasing his paycheck. You know, so he's getting that guaranteed 7% income, and you said you had a 3% cost of living increase. So I'm sure that increases every year. Your paycheck gets a little bit bigger, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, I went from about $1,400 to $1,650.
Okay.
Which is a big change.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
On the immediate ones, they work just like that. The other ones that we kind of talked about, you could do immediate, but the other ones that work a little bit better is if you have some time. And then you can really...
No, of course. But there are a lot of people who have a lump sum right now in their 401k or something. They don't know what to do with it. And what would be, in your opinion, the minimum amount for an immediate?
Again, that's kind of a tough one to answer without knowing the person itself. But I would say, this is why we sit down and meet with them. But I'd say if you have, probably anything in that realm of 400, 500,000 plus, then the immediate kind of makes sense. If that's all that they're relying on.
Right. That's all. That's right.
If they have Social Security and other things, then maybe they get away with less.
Right. In other words, let it fester as long as possible is what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But if people have 100,000 or 200,000, that's why you want to let it sit there and grow a little bit, give it some years, and you can see that money just double and triple.
Got it. Okay. Is this Dublin? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Dublina?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's going on?
Oh, my goodness. The celebrity. Oh, my gosh.
What's happening with you?
Oh, a lot, sir. First of all, thank you so much for calling me back.
Yes.
I love talking to me.
Sure.
Okay. I have a situation.
What is it?
Okay. My son is 27 years old, and he's married with his wife, and they have a child. They're new starters. These kids are trying, and they're working very hard to try to be able to make it into this world.
Okay.
So usually I am the go-in-between for them to purchase a car.
Okay.
And my son decided that he would do this on his own because he felt, okay, Mom, I think I can do this. So I sat back and I watched him.
Did he buy a new? Did he buy a new or used?
Used one. Yes, sir.
Where did he buy it?
Car hop.
Car hop. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And let me ask you this: are we going to be talking about the transaction, or are we going to be talking about the actual car?
The actual car.
All right, hold on, and we'll come right back to you.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
We cleared out the accident westbound I-70 before I-225. It still has us backed up on the main line and on Pena. Vehicle fire westbound I-70 blocking 2 left lanes over at Harlan. We're crowded from Sheridan. Snow on the roadway on I-25 down through the Gap. Accident southbound Hampton after Rolling Valley Drive. And westbound Islet, 1 lane open through the utility work west of I-225.
I just looked up car hop. There's one in Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, Aurora, Colorado Springs.
Sunny on Wednesday at 50.
So he needs to know which
warm
one
up again
she,
on Thursday, sunshine and 65 degrees. Right now it's 32 degrees. With your impact, traffic, and weather, I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
Mattress Firm's best deals are happening now. Save up to $500 on top-selling brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchases. And don't forget hot buys like up to 50% off select queen beds. Shop now and save.
You know, I've known the owner of Fix It 24/7 more than 20 years. This is a company I've trusted in my home, and you can too. I'm going to give you a website and a phone number in a second here, but I want to tell you what they can do for you. Right now is a good time to have that furnace extreme clean, checked, and adjusted by Fix It 24/7. Why do I say now? Because that furnace is going to be needed for the rest of this cold weather and for the coming cooling season. So make sure it's in good shape with Fix It 24/7. And this is an extraordinary deal when I tell you. That extreme clean, adjust, and that's going to be, and check is going to be just $24. You don't understand. They spend more than an hour, hours sometimes, depending on the kind, and they can take it apart to the extent they can, and they clean each and every element and make adjustments and check everything out with a no breakdown guarantee. Just $24. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. You've heard me talk about them. Well, we're talking about, for example, getting an annuity. You know, they handle everything. This is what I mean. They might refer you to My Money, My Way. They might refer you to Blake Harris Law for estate planning. They might refer you for a reverse loan, or they might refer you to the liquid loan. They are the quarterback of your. They look at everything and coordinate it for you. rpcenter.com. Retirement planners. They're helping me figure out what to do, how to take it. They can help you. They're a father, son, son-in-law, and an entire team. In addition to that, they'll meet with you as many times as it takes for you to feel comfortable. Either you go to them or they'll go to you. And here's the other good part. They will not interfere in what you're doing. They'll incorporate it, and they'll give you advice. And if you need new stuff, they'll help you there. You need their advice. Please call to find out. They're transparent, fully upfront about everything, especially if there's a commission involved or whatever. 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. And one of the things I told you about that might be in your plan is the liquid loan. I can't say enough about it. It's a 30-year line of credit, theliquidloan.com. It's a bank account, and you pay simple interest only on your mortgage. You convert it to simple interest right now, plus the extra equity you have, you can borrow. But because it's liquid, you can pay it all back or pay some of it back. You can take out 10 grand, pay it back. Or if you keep money in the bank, it's as if you're paying down your loan and you get credit for the money in the bank. It's an extraordinary plan that'll pay your house off faster. Plus, it gives you lower payments, much lower payments. Find out more at theliquidloan.com. or call Affordable Interest Mortgage. That's AImortgage.net. So remember, theliquidloan.com, and the number is 720-895-0500.
Tommy, have you started inventing Anna? Mark and I started that one. It's decent.
Finished it.
Oh, don't tell me then. It's decent.
Inventing Anna?
Yeah.
The only thing that you started,
And
right?
it's a true story.
The
We're
only
on
thing-
third
yeah.
episode 3.
The only thing
Yeah.
that drove me crazy was her accent.
Mark doesn't like it either. I think it's kind of cute.
Well,
I thought I was going to have that wire right away.
yeah, I mean, it was just it was
Why,
a little bit
My
off-putting.
father.
I mean, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a German accent. She's supposed to be
It
German.
wasn't any accent.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, she just had an accent. Anyway.
But the story was great.
Apparently, you know what has great ratings, and we haven't started it yet. Bad Beacon. That's supposed to be
Oh, really?
good too. Yeah, it made the news
I
this
don't
morning.
want that.
I started that.
What is
and
bad?
I turned it off in the first 15 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
You don't have to
but,
open.
but the reason why is because I had just finished inventing Anna.
Ah, gotcha.
And I was like, I'm not going down here again.
Mankind's
Not
search for
worth it.
answers
We'll
continues.
see. Mark's on the dropout. I'm not watching that one.
NASA access.
We had to invent a lot of new technologies.
Technologies that have never been done before.
Why did it answer my code?
Government has done before.
Are we alone? Is there life out there?
It's the Curiosity
For this
original series, Secrets of the Universe. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit
Answer
curiositystream.com.
my code for
Mark said he would get the Microsoft payment switched. He had not done that
Oh,
one yet.
okay.
I called him about it.
Yeah, because
Give them something to
we're
do
both
today.
using it. Good.
Microban 24 sanitizing spray comes a defensive shield that keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria.
Oh, I need the billing address for never mind. For the referral list.
For the referral list,
Hold on.
it's. Oh, I guess I should say that in the video. You want me to write it down?
Oh, here's a pen.
Yeah, that one's set.
Jackson Hewitt and Walmart.
It should be
are an offer
this.
You won't want to miss. Your Jackson Hewitt tax credit, which is here in the federal return for as little as $59 and no more than $179. Taxes done, there you shop. The biggest federal refund
Oh, that's what it is.
guaranteed for no more than $179. Stop by Jackson Hewitt in any participating Walmart store today because this offer won't last. Terms apply.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So, Devlina says, my 27-year-old son bought a used car from CarHop. Keep going. What happened?
Okay, so what happened was, they went and they bought a car. Well, they went and looked at some cars at CarHop.
What kind of car did they buy?
They bought a 2010 Nissan Rogue, R-O-U-G-E.
Got it. And what happened?
So they have had it less than 2 months. Within the first month that they had the car, they started having lots of problems with the car. They weren't able to drive it. It had.
Did they buy it as? I don't even have to ask. They bought it as is, right? They didn't have a warranty.
No warranty, but that was not.
How many miles on this car? Do you know?
No, sir, I don't. The reason why I'm calling you myself is because my son and my daughter-in-law have been going around with these people, and they went ahead and they gave me permission to go ahead and speak with the people at CarHop. Now, the problem is, according to the person at CarHop, they did $1,400 to fix the so-called parts that were missing.
Wait. What? Hold on. That's nice of them because they bought the car as is. So what I don't understand is, how much did they allot? $1,200? $1,400. Okay. All right. So tell me something. What are you complaining about then if they'll give them $1,400?
Okay, sir. The thing is, it was not just that. It was the transmission that was.
Yeah, but they don't. Here's what I'm getting at. They don't owe them anything unless they lied or cheated or defrauded them. Now, here's what you're going to say. Yes, they did. So tell me how they were lied, cheated, or defrauded.
Okay.
For one, they told them the car was all right. And like I said, they were first-time buyers.
Well, maybe it was all right, according to the dealer. What I'm getting at is this, and I'm not trying to be harsh. I want to get to the real issue. So forgive me for this kind of talk, but I'm going to say something. They bought it as is. It's their problem, unless they were cheated. Okay? As is does not mean they have a license to cheat. For example, if the car was unsafe, we might be able to force the issue. Or if the car did not pass emissions in that first 3 days, and they can prove that, we got an issue we can help with. What is it? Did it pass emissions?
They haven't gotten to that point yet.
Well, they should have. Why?
Unsafe.
Well,
it
how?
was unsafe to
Okay,
start with.
Dovelina, how was it unsafe?
The parts that they had on the car were not working properly.
That doesn't make it unsafe. What I'm talking about is
transmission was not working properly.
That's not unsafe. Tell me, Dovelina, this is not a debate. I'm not trying to prove you wrong and you and me right. Here's what I'm trying to get at. What they mean by safety issues are brakes, windshield, lights, things like that. If the basic safety things were fixed or were working, let's not waste our time on saying it was unsafe, okay? Transmission does not make it unsafe, okay? Steering would. So I'm talking about what the law says is unsafe. Or some other thing, for example, the emissions. You said they never got to that point. They were given a 3-day voucher. Why didn't they go and get it checked in the first 3 days?
Like I said, they're first-time buyers.
Okay.
And
All right. Enough said. Okay. So now we can't get them on emissions because the dealer's going to say you had 3 days to get your emissions. If you didn't get it in the first 3 days, it's not our fault. So now let's talk about the repairs. They offered $1,400. What needs to be done?
The T-bar that goes in the front. That works with the tires. It was.
Okay. What else?
The windshields didn't work. The windshield wipers didn't work.
All right, hold on. I think we're going to end up with problems that are truly their fault. Not fault, their responsibility. Let's just see what we can do by calling them. Hold on.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Do you feel all the time? She's going to say multiple problems. Right. Jesus Christ. When will people fucking learn? When? When are they going to learn?
They won't. That's the problem.
Brick is a brick. It's thick. Thick as a brick.
People want, they want something, they want it right away. They want to buy a car, and they have to have it, so they don't want to wait for the inspection.
Do you know what? Whatever, I don't even know what they paid for it. That's their college education right there. That kid will never do that again.
It's true. Hopefully, we'll never do it again.
But they probably will. They probably will.
No, I think he's been. I think once you get burned like that, you learn your lesson.
I hope. That's if you're paying attention and not just standing next to the person you're with.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
Yes, God, a little bit of Jethro
ABC
Tull.
News, I'm Andy Field. Underway now in Washington, Senate confirmation hearing of Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin.
President Biden nominated you because you knew your qualifications are outstanding. This committee knows you. You've appeared 3 previous times, and each time been confirmed with bipartisan support.
Some Republicans arguing that Jackson is soft on crime. She would be the first black woman on the nation's highest court. Devastation in Mariupol, Ukraine, as Russia
first black woman
to target that city.
There's never been a black woman on the court.
And fresh attacks in the
We've had some Jewish people, Italian people. We've had Hispanic. Have we had Hispanic?
Yeah.
What's her name? Over the war.
Each favoring more harrowing attacks.
Sony Mayada.
We have a black guy, black man.
Yeah, we just haven't had a black
Ukraine
woman.
by the thousands. This is ABC News. COVID cases are trending upwards in part of Europe and the UK. The chief White House medical advisor expecting to see infections climb here too. More from ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
I don't think Putin thought that this war was going to go this way.
No, of course
He
not.
doesn't think it will be
He thought
a
he'd be
surge.
done by now.
As the threat of possible new variants lingers, the federal
it
funding
is
for COVID
sad.
is running out. Congress didn't approve any new money. The White House warning COVID testing capacity will drop and treatments in the federal supply will run out if there isn't
That's her,
additional
Jack
funding, which
Sotomayor.
right now seems unlikely.
COVID also surging in China. The first COVID deaths in more than a year there. 2 people, both elderly, with underlying conditions. 1 was not vaccinated. Rushed to the hospital last night, 3 corrections officers and 4 inmates at the Northwest Ohio Juvenile Detention Center. They found fentanyl in the air ducts of the facility. All 7 expected to recover. Officials trying to figure out how the dangerous chemical got into the HVAC system. Andy Field, ABC News.
Somebody threw it in there trying to jack up everybody in the building.
And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive results should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
K-How News Time, 12:03.
Another dose of winter today.
Look for those snow showers to continue into the afternoon before they wrap up. Not much accumulation expected in the metro area. We could see several inches down in our southwestern foothills and then down near the Palmer Divide.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Kylie Burrs. The city of Denver wants to do more to keep people charged with low-level crimes from becoming repeat offenders. The city working on opening a new center that would focus on the causes of minor crimes and would help to alleviate them. Those affected would be offered resources in areas like healthcare, education, and housing. The same services would also be available to those who aren't in trouble with law enforcement. The Broncos trying to get guns off the streets of Denver and Aurora. The Broncos held the first of several scheduled gun buyback events over the weekend at Empower Field at Mile High. The effort netted 189 guns, including more than 100 semi-automatic weapons. Guns collected at the buyback event will be melted down and used to create garden tools. The next event is scheduled for April 9th in Aurora. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
We're working on that vehicle fire westbound I-70, blocking 2 left lanes at Harlan. We're crowded from Sheridan. Snow on the roadway on I-25 down through the Gap. We clear northbound at Skyview Lane. New accident northbound I-25, blocking the left lane at Castle Pines Parkway. And a wreck on Hampton at Monaco. That's in addition to the earlier accident southbound Hampton after Rollin Valley Drive. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Snow showers today and tomorrow. Could see a high up to 45, but lows at night around 30. Mostly sunny on Wednesday at 50. It's going to warm up again with sunshine and 65 degrees for the high on Thursday. Right now it's 32 with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 K-How.
Dell semi-annual sale delivers unmatched productivity and play. Right now, save what Dell employees save with 17% off XPS and select Alienware computers powered by Intel Core processors. Visit Dell.com/semi-annual sale or call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Welcome to the castle.
Oh my, is that the costume? Don't touch it. Covering a hole in your wall.
Yeah, I had leaks, but the plumber who repiped doesn't do drywall.
It doesn't? Repipe specialists would have repiped and offered to fix the holes in your walls.
Got leaks? Repipe specialists will repipe your house in 1 or 2 days and offer to fix the drywall. Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910 or visit repipe.com.
Hi, everybody. Jack Corrigan, voice of your Colorado Rockies. Join me and MLB legend Cal Ripken Jr. for the 2022 Sports Breakfast at Ball Arena, supporting the Boy Scouts of America. It's April 6th from 7 to 9 a.m. You'll hear amazing Scout impact stories, meet local sports stars and celebrities, and, of course, hear from the Hall of Famer Cal Ripken himself. For more information, go to denverboyscouts.org/sportsbreakfast. Register to attend today.
Mornings at 6. The Situation with Michael Brown.
Democrat Senator Dick Durbin says that climate elitists attacking the U.S. energy policy are waging a war against climate change. Really? Let's talk about that on Tuesday at 6:06.
Just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help come and make. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Don't forget Water Pros for the best water systems at the lowest prices anywhere. WaterPros.net. Water Pros. What a great company for whole house softening systems for better plumbing, better laundry, better skin, better all-around feel. Whole house, fully installed, around $2,000. That's WaterPros.net. You don't do better than these guys. I've known Paul the Waterman. I have systems in my home. You can get drinking water fountains under $1,000 fully installed. Water Pros, 303-862-5554. What's on your mind today? How can we help you? Devlina says her son bought a used car. Listen, I know she's upset. You know why? Because we get this call 100 times a year, at least. Bought a used car, and there are multiple problems. The dealer won't do anything. Okay, folks, I'm going to say this once and for all. They don't have to. Let that sink in. When you buy a car and it's used and you buy it as is, you are buying it with all of the trouble. The only exception to that is if the windshield is so cracked you can't see, or it's in the vision, the area of driving vision, or you don't have brakes, or it doesn't steer correctly, or some serious safety issue, like the body's been compromised or something. Stalling is not a safety issue. Overheating is not a safety issue. Transmission is not a safety issue. The tires simply have to be legal. There's so much to it. Mostly as is means it's your problem. So when people call me, why don't I just tell them that and hang up? Because sometimes we can get what I call a hook to get them out of it. One of the hooks is it doesn't pass emissions during the initial period of time that the dealer must give you, which is 3 days. After that, it's your problem. If it doesn't pass in the first 3 days, it's the dealer's problem. The next thing is if they can't get you title, or if they lied to you and you can prove it. None of that's happening with Devlina. Here's what happened with Devlina. Her 27-year-old son made a mistake. He bought a used car, a 2010 Nissan Rogue, from CarHop, and did not have it checked out completely. Now, Norris over at SOS Inspections does used car checkout, usedcarcheckout.com. Here's what I want to ask. How many miles on this car, Devlina?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many miles it has.
All right. Now, when your son went back to the dealer and said, I'm having all kinds of problems, how did they did the dealer try to fix anything, or they simply said, here's $1,400? How'd they do it?
No, sir, it didn't happen that way. What happened was they called the dealer. His name is Joseph Reed, which was a very rude person and belligerent to begin with. And they told him about the problem. and he simply ignored them. So they went, and he kept sending them to the garage, which is where the mechanic works. Okay? So he kept sending them to the wrong mechanic. And they just gave him the runaround. So they went back again and said, hey, look, this is what's going on. You're sending us to the wrong place. So pretty much this guy was just giving them the runaround instead of just being honest with them. Say, hey, look, I don't have to help you. I understand that. I've been in this life for a long time, and I've been through a lot. And the problem that I see with this is that...
well, you keep going on and on, but Devlina, so far the dealer did nothing wrong.
He didn't tell them about the problem with the transmission.
They don't have to.
I'm telling you, the transmission should be. Because if the transmission breaks while you're in traffic, or you're going full velocity, and the transmission fails, you're asking for trouble.
Devlina, listen,
yes,
I understand what you're saying, but that's not one of the things that they really include in. But listen, they don't have to tell him about the transmission. They told him it was as is. Now, if they said to him, listen to this, it's called fraud in the inducement, meaning they lied to him to get him to sign the contract. If they said, we just had the transmission checked out and it's in great condition, that's one thing. But did they lie to him?
I feel he did.
Oh, see, Devlina, I'm not talking about how you feel. What did they say that was a lie that we can prove?
Okay. So finally, he goes to a different person.
What do you mean? Hold on. Devlina, what do you mean a different person? A different dealership? A different car repair shop? What?
A different salesperson, and they guided him to the right mechanic, the shop itself. So they've had the car in the shop for almost a month, not being worked on. They go back in to talk to the mechanic. The mechanic said, this car is full of problems, we can't fix it. Now we're looking at the transmission, which is at least $3,000 to $4,000. Now we go back to the car dealership and tell them, hey, this is the problem. So they said,
now, when you talk about, Devlina, when you talk about the mechanic, we're not talking about a mechanic that's part of the dealership.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Part of the dealership.
So then, okay, all right. So then you went back to the dealership and said, we can't take this car. There's too many problems. What did the dealer say?
The dealer said, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and issue a check for $1,400. The car has not been worked on. It's still sitting there because the mechanic said it's not worth $16,000.
Okay. How much did they pay for the car?
Well, that's it. They're still paying for the car.
I'm not asking that. What's the purchase price?
$6,000.
Okay, $6,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what? Listen, can you acknowledge a few things? Your son your son made a mistake.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he didn't get the car checked. If he took it to a mechanic before he bought it, they would have found the bad transmission. Right? Right?
Yes, you're right.
What's your son's first name?
Robert.
Robert. He's a good kid. He works hard. He has a family. I get it. I want to help him. Let's see. But we're going to give it our best shot. Who should we give this to? Doc, I mean, are you overloaded or not?
I'm overloaded. Scott might be.
Give it to Marty.
Give it to Deputy Smarty Pants or Scott. You decide. Let's have them call over there and see if we can negotiate something for this kid. If they're willing to give him $1,400, can they just get him into another car or something? And let's look at, and we'll examine the new deal. This guy, and then we need to have it checked. Oh my God. Matthew, what's going on, Matthew? Matthew? All right. I'm told there's a Matthew on the line, and I'm told he wants to talk about Easy Pawn, but I can't hear anything. Matthew! All right, let's forget that. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
With the new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances of $500 or more. That's right, 1% APY on a 24-month CD. To get that higher rate, you typically need to be on a longer term. Stop by any Belco branch, call 1-800-BELCO-1, or visit belco.org/CD to open a CD online in minutes. Belco membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA. Belco, banking for everyone.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Free market analysis of your home. And he really puts some thought into it. Pictures, measurements, comparables. I sat with Frank on Friday and saw how much he's selling things for. In neighborhoods where they asked a lot of money starting out, and they got right around what they were asking in some cases, or even a little lower. With Frank, he started out at a somewhat lower to reasonable price. The owners were upset, saying, "Why'd you do that?" He said, "You see." And it started a bidding war, and they got more than anyone in the neighborhood. You have to trust him. He is so knowledgeable. You know, don't let his easy, humble way deter you, thinking, he's not aggressive enough. He's the best. If you're looking to sell a house, you won't do better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Get a free market analysis of your home on what it will sell for. 303-920-1622. The Art of Granite. Love it, love it, love it. The Art of Granite, because they do all kinds of countertops. They do all natural stone, granite, quartz, marble, whatever you want. They do man-made materials as well. So all you have to do is call them and get a price on the phone, because they tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, and free sinks if you mention Martino. Theartofgranite.com. You will love the way they do business, and they'll give you a quote on the phone, 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Listen to this. Genesis Total Exteriors.com. Genesis. You will love Genesis because they are there for you, whether you're doing solar or you're doing a kitchen, a bath, a basement, maybe you want a pop top, whatever you want, or siding, windows, doors. That's Genesis Total Exteriors, which means because they do everything, they're a great one to have if you're having storm damage and you can deal with one source. They'll work with your public adjuster or with your insurance company. 303-679-8509 for all your home improvements. Genesis, 303-679-8509.
Do you feel like your feet are stepping on broken glass? Sharp pain or tingling in the feet or hands are symptoms of peripheral neuropathy.
Taking drugs like Lyrica or gabapentin, but they never seem to fix your neuropathy? Are you worried about their side effects? There's a better way. Front Range Medical Center can help. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and debilitating balance problems. Front Range Medical Center can relieve you from neuropathy with no injections and no drugs, using the newest, most advanced treatment. You can start feeling relief in only a few sessions. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical now for a consultation and exam to see if your neuropathy can be treated. He'll provide a painless neuropathy severity exam, normally $200 or just $27. Take action before your neuropathy gets worse. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical at 720-823-0784. That's 720-823-0784.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Colorado area attorneys. 8101 East Prentice Avenue, Suite 475, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111.
This is a critical message for folks affected by the Boulder County fires. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major. Your insurance company is not your friend. Their entire goal is to pay you the least amount of money. Don't be fooled by these snakes. Their adjusters are nothing but wolves in sheep's clothing. You need someone on your side fighting for you. You need Matt with Paragon Services. He's a public adjuster. Call Matt for free advice on how to deal with your insurance company. 719-726-0020. 719-726-0020.
Did you know that there's more to mortgage refinance than just a lower rate? Well, it's true. You can also shorten your term. You could drop mortgage insurance, or you could even access some of your home equity as cash. That's what you ought to be doing right now by calling American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Michael Brown here, and I want you to call American Financing because several personal friends of mine work at American Financing. I want you to tell them that I sent you, and you'll get a free, no-obligation mortgage review. I promise you they're not going to pressure you, and they certainly won't charge any upfront or hidden fees. If you like what you hear from my friends, they'll design a custom loan to fit your budget and your needs. It might help you skip 2 payments if you want to do that. So why not call? Ask for anyone who's a friend of Michael Brown, and they'll get you started in only 10 minutes. Give them a call. Ask for anyone that used to work with me, and you can pre-qualify for free when you call 303-695-7000. 303-695-7000, or visit online, AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Social Security questions? When should you start your benefits? 62, 67, 70, or when? What about benefits for a divorced or surviving spouse? So many questions, and Social Security will not give you the answers. I'm Mike Whitmore with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free Social Security class on Thursday afternoon, March 31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com, or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The NHL trade deadline is today, and teams are wheeling and dealing either to bolster their playoff standings or to build for the future. The Avalanche have not made any moves yet today, but recent defensive acquisition Josh Manson will make his Avs debut against the Oilers tonight. And former Rockies defensive back Suma Cravens took to Twitter detailing his less-than-ideal experiences with ex-head coach McFangio. Cravens played only 5 games for Denver in 2018. I'm J.D. Haffron.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Hey, this is Dave Kaplis. Thanks for listening to Tom Martino. Join me this afternoon at 4 for your ride home, and all you have to say is Alexa, play 630 KHOW.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Tony, go ahead. What's going on with you, Tony?
Tom, I am a trustee for an estate created by my late brother who passed on.
Now, when you say trustee, hold on. You're administering a trust, or are you the personal representative for the estate?
I'm administering this trust.
Okay, go ahead.
The trust consisted of 4 investment properties that he willed to his 7 siblings. All 4 properties were placed on the market within 1 month of his passing, the last of which was sold and closed on 9/17/21, so 3.5 months after his passing.
So there were four investment properties, right?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
My questions are in regard to the stepped-up basis.
Okay.
Can we list the stepped-up basis the same as the sale price, since all properties were sold within months of his passing?
Well, you have to substantiate it, but yeah, you can. But they usually want, the IRS could come in and say, prove it, but you could do it. I mean, no one's going to question you on it. And then do you think an appraisal will show that? Because sometimes things are selling for more than the appraisal. And, whatever, you could argue that whatever brought at sale is the price. But here's the bottom line, okay? The way it is the day of his death, and this was your brother, Tony?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad, by the way. When did he die?
June 1 last year.
Was it sudden?
No, quite honestly, he got shot in a robbery in like 1980. Well, hold on, in like 1983, and as a result of that, he had surgery, got a transfusion, and got hepatitis from the transfusion. And he had been fighting that for 30, 40 years. He wasn't even supposed to live as long as he did. So,
wow,
it was a long, long time coming.
Wow. Okay, so you had a trust with 4 investment properties. On the day of death, you get that basis, and then you sold it 4 months later. It's probably going to be the same, Tony. Here's the thing. You can do it. No one's going to say you can't do it.
Well, yeah, the problem is the management company and the realtor that were all helping with us the management company got sold. It's virtually impossible to get anything out of them.
What do you have to get out of them? What do you have to get out of them?
An appraisal of the property.
You don't go to them to get an appraisal. You go to an appraiser.
Ah, I see.
Now, here's what the appraiser will need from the management company, possibly. What were they? Were they 4 single-family homes, or were they 4 apartment?
Yes.
Okay. If they're 4 single-family homes, you simply have those homes appraised, period. Now, if sometimes they want to know what they were renting for, but that has little to nothing to do in today's market. Just you need 4 appraisers and 4 appraisals. And then you appraise it for that date and time. And they can do that with comparables. They can go back in time. And those 4 appraisals are probably going to cost you $2,400-$2,500. Not total. Each, total, probably. They could be a little more. Yeah. I mean, you could, with the way things are now, it could be a little more, but it shouldn't be much more.
So, yeah, I'm between you and the wall. I'm probably going to submit the tax return without those in hand. The tax return doesn't ask for them. So no,
it doesn't. That's why I'm saying, Tony. In fact, I'll be honest with you, man. When I have no choice, right? When I'm on the air, people would know in a minute if I'm telling you what's not true. But when you sell your house and you're supposed to pay tax on capital gains more than $250,000 for a single person, or $500,000 filing jointly, you're supposed to pay tax. But it's based on your basis. There are people who buy a house for $250,000, let's say, and they're selling it for $500,000, and they put down their basis as $500,000 without ever substantiating the $250,000. Ever. No one asks for you for receipts. No one asks for anything unless you're audited.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're audited. The same with this trust, Tony. No one's going to ask you. You're going to say it was worth $500,000 and you sold it for $500,000, or $1 million you sold it, whatever. Did you sell all 4 to the same person?
No.
Okay.
3 of them to the same person, another one to another person.
Okay. They
were all sold to investors. They never went on the market.
Okay. Let's put it this way. You're going to have I doubt anyone is ever going to audit that trust.
Yeah, I agree. So that leads me into my perfect segue to my next question,
which is,
if I list the stepped-up basis as the sale price, it creates a loss to the estate, and so.
Well, how would that create? How does it create a loss?
Because we get to deduct all of the closing costs from the cost from the sale, from the sales. So we had $2,000 to $3,000 of closing costs for each property.
I get it. Red flags.
So that's my question. Should I step it up?
Yes.
So I don't create that.
As long as you're going to be writing fantasy, do it so you don't create a loss.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, hold on now. Okay. You understand that's not an official legal position or a real estate position.
I understand. I'm not going to hold you to anything.
That's a Tom Martino position. In other words, don't give them a red flag, for God's sakes. Don't say because. Right. And by the way, I'm not sure what happens in a loss for a trust. What happens? I mean, I'm not even sure.
Well, the trust won't be closed as far as the tax basis is concerned until next year, because we didn't get it done We didn't close it.
Yeah, but how does a loss help the trust anyway? It doesn't, right? They don't get any extra money, do they?
Well, everybody's going to get a K1.
Yeah, but
So
the K1, yeah, but you guys, I don't think that as an inheritor of a trust, you get to deduct the loss. I don't think so. You might. I mean, I've never heard of that, actually. I actually never heard of that.
Well, currently the K1s are showing a loss.
Of how much?
$1,000 per child.
You know what?
Sibling.
Actually, man, actually, I don't. That's a really good question, Tony. I'd love to ask our tax guy, if you want to hold on. I really want to get another opinion. Okay?
Sure.
Hold on. Suze, let's get a tax question in there about losses on a K1 from an estate. I guess you can deduct it from a trust. We'll ask someone. 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's top.
I don't see how, because he wants to make the sale and the value the same.
Yeah, but you say, why are they taking a loss on it?
Now, impact traffic.
This report
Okay,
is sponsored
if it's
by
500,
Indeed.com.
you say it's a 500 value, and the sale's 500. Now you pay out of the sale proceeds, and the estate actually only gets $495.
Okay.
That's a $5,000 loss.
It's a $495 gain.
No, it isn't. The house's basis is day of death, 500.
Okay.
They sell it for 500.
Oh,
Zero gain.
Right.
But you subtract now,
cost of the transaction.
yes,
Okay.
and now you have a loss.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do it.
With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW.
If
Although
all
I never
candidate
thought of
calls
that.
aren't
I
turning into
never
hot
thought of that.
hiring
That's a
leads,
good question.
Then you need Indeed, because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates, all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, if
you're in an accident, you can go to a big law firm that brags about big settlements, and you can be a number. I don't care what you say. The bigger they are, the less each individual client means, no matter what. Just do the math. But if you have a small law firm chosen to be small on purpose, like John Fuller, he'll give you his undevoted attention, and here's the point. He will give you a cell phone number and work your case personally. That's his pledge to you. John Fuller. Call for free legal information about your claim. He'll tell you exactly what he can do for you or not, and here's the deal. It's for free call, no obligation, and a small contingency if you decide to hire him. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. That's Fuller Law. PersonalInjuryCO.com. If you're looking for floor coverings of any kind, I want to direct you to SimplyFloorsInc.com. I've known Buddy and Karen Mitchell for years. They're floor covering experts, but in addition to that, they assign you an expert for design, interior design. These designers help you incorporate that floor into your project, and it's all at the lowest prices on the market or near the lowest, even lower than big box stores. So you get better pricing, better installers, and of course, Buddy and Karen Mitchell, who are your experts, whether it be carpeting of all kinds, LVT, or hardwoods of any kind, including laminates. That's SimplyFloorsInc.com, INC, SimplyFloorsInc.com.
You know your old, ugly...
During our free demolition event, we'll demolish and pull away your old materials and give you an instant cash recycling credit. This could save you thousands, but you must call now at 877-PAVE-002. 877-PAVE-002, 877-PAVE-002, or systemcameras.com.
All orders must be placed by March 31st. See website for full detail. When you were a kid and lost a tooth, it was cute. It was no big deal if you couldn't have it for a month. But as a kid, it wasn't embarrassing if you were missing a tooth and you smiled. Like I said, it was cute, and you might even get a buck or two from the tooth fairy. Unfortunately, it's not like that as an adult. When you're missing a tooth or two or more, now it can really negatively impact your life. Not just what you eat, but whether you go out with friends or ask someone out on a date, or even just whether you smile. This is where Aspenwood Dental and the Colorado Dental Implant Center can help. They specialize in making sure that you have a mouthful of teeth So that as one recent Aspenwood dental client said, quote, I've had my implants 6 months, and I wish I'd gotten them years ago. I can even eat apples now, end quote. Seriously, if you're missing teeth, implants can change your life. To get started with a free consultation, call Aspenwood Dental at 303-751-3321. That's 303-751-3321. Or go online at aspenwooddental.com. That's aspenwooddental.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both.
Which,
but
was it Colorado Pain Cure that you just gave out for neuropathy a little bit ago, or was that someone else? Or was that a spot that wasn't even you?
Your nose. After all, your nose.
Bennett has neuropathy from his cancer. Oh, then Bennett has neuropathy from his cancer, and he tried
Bennett has cancer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So anyway, he thought you gave out a spot for neuropathy too. Do you have anybody in mind for him?
Well, I know Colorado
in one nostril.
Then that's what tell him to go to. Yeah, he's not good.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, why did Daphne lock us out of that account?
Save up to $1,600 on entrance doors. Hi, I'm Cindy with Gunright Windows and Doors, and replacing those old, drafty, noisy windows and doors is the thing to do this time of year. Hey, AC costs.
It was a few years ago. I was out for either my surgery or vacation. I think it was for my surgery because Mark was here, and you guys. Well, what happened is she logged in too many times with the wrong password, and once that happened, you got to call in. And you guys needed something right away, so Mark's like, fuck it, just create a new account and get it going. And so then that one just got dropped, but your name's on it. So the new one has always been under my name, so I can unlock it.
So when you say is it Thomas Martino or what?
I don't know what you have in there, but I saw your email. It goes to
Net
Tom.
Promise. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Hey, I got a new idea for our podcast, Ridiculous Crime.
Hit me with it.
Con man.
Busted for dining and dashing and becomes an Australian folk hero.
I got one for you. Jimmy Stewart once smuggled a Yeti's finger out of Nepal.
Both of these live up to our ridiculous crime guarantee. Always 99%
outgoing and 100% ridiculous.
Listen to Ridiculous Crime on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Who's drumming?
I don't know the
Protect
group.
your privacy online for free.
They're down there kind of regular.
Okay. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Tony, we're going to get you on with a tax expert to deal with this trust issue, because I want to know, too. I want to know about it, and I think it's really good. So if you can hang, or we can call you back. Jeff, you have a question about filing a civil suit on your neighbor. What's happening?
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Okay. So, late last year, we had a neighbor claimed he was intoxicated, basically came out with 4 guns and flipped out over almost 60 rounds in everywhere. Houses shot up, cars shot up.
Wow. Did he go to jail?
He is it. Well, okay. Originally, they charged him with some ridiculous menacing charge, and I lost my mind. So I started pushing buttons, and we got it modified to 11 counts of attempted murder, as it should have been. Now, the trial starts this week, and I've become kind of a point man. I got neighbors selling their houses. I got neighbors moving. I've got kids.
So is this guy admitted he was intoxicated?
And I quote, I'm reading it, I had taken some narcotics. Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Most people have.
All right, hold on. Menacing is a good charge, but attempted murder is better if you want to get him in real trouble. But was it really attempted murder? Was he shooting at people?
There were 7 bullets following the path I ran up my driveway at. and 6 in the front of my house after I dove in the door, after I grabbed some kids off the street. The next door neighbor's house is shot up.
Okay.
Pretty bad. Once they investigated it, they literally shut down the whole street for a day and a half.
All right, so let me ask you this. What jurisdiction is this?
El Paso.
El Paso County?
Yes.
What city?
Springs.
Colorado. Okay. Now, so now what's happening?
Well, it's pretty clear he's going to be convicted. These are serious charges, a ton of evidence, 20-plus witnesses, 11 victims. And looking at the trauma it's caused to everybody, I'm one of them. Do we have any kind of recourse civilly?
Yeah, of course you do.
Okay, real quick, he's 33, 34. He lives in his mom's house. So that's the background. He's a neighbor. I know who he was, and I don't understand what happened, but that's not my issue. My issue is I got 11 people, almost got shot up. We got thousands and thousands of dollars of property damage. And, bullets literally following and blood trails leading up to my front door.
Yeah, you can sue civilly. I don't know if you'll get anything. You may have to try to go after his mom's homeowner's insurance.
Well, you know what? That makes him leave the neighborhood, so be it. So what type of attorney would I be looking at?
Personal injury. You have to find a personal injury lawyer who will take it because you can't afford to do it on your own. It has to be on contingency. And I would say you do a joinder suit, meaning that you guys join together and you act, and split up the stuff or just do it yourself. You don't have to do a joinder. You can do whatever you want. You can do it together.
I want my neighbors involved. They've been victimized by all this as well.
Well, I don't know if you're going to find a personal injury attorney to take it. Perhaps you will.
Uh-huh. Yeah, can you throw me a bone?
Okay, well, we have a personal injury. We have, I know personal injury attorneys, but I can't say if they would take it. Let me ask one. Suze, try to get John Fuller, to answer a personal injury question on a guy shooting up the neighborhood. 303-713-8255. Joe Chiano. We talked to Jordan earlier about the annuity. We had a lot of questions, and they were very useful. On lump sums, he said 500 or under, you want to let it fester at least 5 years or 10 years is better. He said for more than 500,000, approaching $1 million or more, you could do a lump sum and get it almost immediately. But it's always better to have more money and more time. So people should start when they can. And then once you turn it into retirement, I have a question for you, Joe. Does the balance keep growing? Or is it irrelevant to you? Because once you turn on the income in an annuity, you get those monthly checks. Can you still take more money if you had to in an emergency?
No, Tom. This annuity is pretty well fixed. Once you turn the income switch on, you cannot change it.
Okay, but before you turn the income switch on, you can draw out money if you need it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, but it would also then lower your income possibly.
It would lower the pool of money to create that income flow.
Okay,
yes.
Now, if you have an annuity like this, and I'm telling you they're very popular, and you turn on the income, does the money still earn for the company?
No. It is totally fixed. The company will agree to a paycheck basically for the rest of the person's life.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what it's making because you're going to get a paycheck.
It's a guaranteed paycheck till the day the person dies.
Now and it's frozen in time. So when you turn on the income switch, after it festers, you can then take whatever income it accumulated. Does it usually turn? Somebody wanted to know this, Joe. This is a tough question.
Yeah.
Take a certain amount of money, no matter what it is, and then you're getting a paycheck. Does it usually work out where this monthly check is what you would get on your own if you just drew down the money?
Oh, no way. No way. I mean, this is actually, the company already has.
So in other words, if you put money away and then simply in retirement start drawing it down a little each month, it would not last as long as an annuity.
That is right. And I mean, if you have the money in the stock market and the market goes down, it's even worse for people. So this is a paycheck that is guaranteed for the rest of their lives, no matter how old they get to be. If they live to be 100 years old.
Yeah, but the actuarials must figure out what they think you're going to live to.
Well, absolutely. They have a mortality table, and some people outlive the mortality table. Right now, it is at the high 80s. So that means that people are living to 80 years old. But I know people that have lived to be almost 100.
Well, I understand, and the income still continues.
Yes, guaranteed.
But you can't you can't accelerate it.
You cannot.
Okay,
once you start, the income
got
has
it.
to be like that.
Now, what if then there's a certain amount of money in the pot, and you take an income and you die? What happens to the rest?
The balance of the money will go to the spouse or to the children, or whoever the beneficiary is.
Okay, and is it safe to assume that that balance gets lower and lower the longer you live, right? So the best thing is you outlive it, and you're living off the company money, right?
Right, exactly. You see that, Tom? I think we all know that people are living longer. We're living longer now.
So in that case, if you outlived what they projected and you're still getting a paycheck, then if you die, there's nothing else to be collected, right?
That is right.
Okay, so it's simple math.
It is.
Okay,
It is.
and what would you say? What would you say? A good festering. A lot of people have retirement built up, and what do you think if somebody had, let's say, 800,000? Can they combine it as husband and wife, and how would that work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They can combine it. And they can get both of them could get an income for the rest of their lives.
Well, hold on. So they both get an income when they turn on the switch, and then when one dies, it continues?
It can continue, or they can choose to settle for the balance of the account.
If one of them dies?
If one of them dies.
Have you done this a lot for husband and wives on one annuity?
Oh, my gosh, yes. We do it all the time, Tom.
It doesn't affect the income, does it? Because they're not literally getting two checks; they're just getting one check, right?
That is right.
Okay, cool. So it's about the same.
Income.
So it's the same income. They just have an option when one dies.
Exactly.
What a good idea! So you can still do that. You can do that for your children too.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. That's mymoneymyway.com. More coming right up.
Now, impact traffic. This report is sponsored by Blindster. I-25 and I-70 both cleared out through Denver. Now snow on the roadway on I-25 down through the Gap. We've got an accident southbound blocking the left lane at House of Pines Parkway. Cleared the earlier accident southbound Hampton after Roland Valley Drive. Utility work on Island west of I-225. 287 shut down at Broomfield for work on the train tracks between Middle Monte and Dillon. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, scattered snow showers today and tomorrow. Highs up to 45, lows around 30 tonight. Mostly sunny on Wednesday. It's going to warm up again Thursday, sunny and 65 degrees. Right now it's 34. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHOW. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
You know, we talk a lot about reverse loans on this show, and in some cases, they're excellent tools for when you're older and you have equity to live off that equity tax-free without any problems. Tax-free, and then what you can do is you can have that for yourself. And listen to this. You can also make it a line of credit, so you only need it in emergencies. I highly recommend Empower Reverse Mortgage to counsel you through this. Mark Massey and his team have compassion for those reaching their later years, and they'll walk you through this and help you get a reverse loan, the best one to suit your needs, if it will suit you at all. And he'll be truthful with you. Here's another thing, okay? You can go down as low as 55 years of age with certain reverse loans now. You don't have to be 62. Call for this special information from Empower Reverse. on 55 or older or 62 or older. EmpowerReverse.com, 833-502-3100. 833-502-3100. Now, speaking of loans, what about the liquid loan? You know what? Loans don't get much better than the liquid loan when it comes to getting an equity line of credit on your home. That's really what it is. Now, it pays off your first, right? But now you have simple interest. You get to choose to make interest-only payments or to pay down the principal anytime you want. It's totally liquid. In fact, if you have, let's just say you have 25 grand in the bank at all times, or maybe 10 grand or whatever, that's as if you owe that much less on your mortgage just sitting there. So you can use it anytime, but it also helps you pay lower interest. You really have to check out Affordable Interest Mortgage. It's wonderful. It's a 30-year line of credit, Affordable Interest Mortgage. And here's what it is. TheLiquidLoan.com. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. TheLiquidLoan.com. When you get into pain, your whole life is upside down. It really is. I can tell you that because I've had some chronic pain, and it's gone thanks to Colorado Pain Care. I've also had acute pain, and right now I don't have any. Of course, I could injure myself here or there, and that's who I call, 303-GOT-PAIN. I call them because I know there are locations I can go to throughout Denver for convenience and appointments from 7 to 7, even same-day appointments. So find out more about them. Colorado Pain Care. .com, 303-GOT-PAIN.
Do you feel like you're
What was that?
The FTC charged them with cheating businesses.
Home Advisor?
Yep, Home Advisor and Angie.
They were
Yep.
cheating businesses all
That's what they said, with deceptive and misleading tactics. The FTC's complaint against them alleges that since at least the middle of 2014, it has made false, misleading, and unsubstantiated claims about the quality and source of leads.
Wow.
The caller hung up. Do you still want John Fuller?
Take action before your neuropathy gets worse.
It was personal injury. Yeah.
The guy who shot up 50?
Yeah.
No,
If he can come on, yeah.
Yeah.
0784. That's 720-823-0784. If you're suffering every day with joint pain, stop and listen. You can get real, lasting relief now with natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. Hey, Michael Brown, QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative solutions that can restore and repair damaged tissue. No surgery and no drug. This is the relief you've been hoping for your aching hips, knees, shoulder, lower back. The unique protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a doctor with years of study in regenerative restorative medicine. They're treating patients every day in hundreds of clinics nationwide with remarkable success, life-changing results with zero downtime. It's the new, better, smarter, non-surgical, and non-invasive way to deal with joint pain. And yes, they're right here, ready to help you right now. So call for a free consultation. Make this spring and summer your best ever with no joint pain holding you back. QC Kinetics right now in Colorado. Call 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Call them today. 303-900-8986.
Want your biggest possible tax refund this year? Jackson Hewitt and Walmart have an offer you won't want to miss. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will prepare your federal return for as little as $59 and no more than $179. Tax is done where you shop. Your biggest federal refund guaranteed for no more than $179. Stop by Jackson Hewitt in any participating Walmart store today because this offer won't last. Terms apply.
The soothing scent of Vicks Vapor Rub. It's only one of the most iconic smells ever. That cooling, comforting scent generations of families have come to trust to help them feel better. And now you trust to soothe your family. Pick up some Vicks Vapor Rub in the little blue jar and wrap yourself with the calm only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, always there for you.
Major League Baseball legend and Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. will be this year's speaker at the Boy Scouts Breakfast at Ball Arena on April 6th.
The New York Times
Details
finally
and registration
admitted there was
at
a laptop.
denverboyscouts.org/sportsbreakfast.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have John Fuller, our personal injury expert and attorney at law with Fuller Law. And he handles a lot of personal injury cases and gives advice if you call him. And we just have a weird question, John, and it has to do with a guy that took narcotics, admittedly. He went out into the neighborhood and started shooting up the neighborhood. He started shooting at people, cars, houses, through windows, terrorized the neighborhood. He was apprehended. He's charged with attempted murder and menacing. And the neighbor who called in says that he's kind of a spokesperson for the neighborhood. And he wants to know, can they go after him for civil damages, like emotional trauma and all that?
What is the guy being prosecuted? Is he getting convicted of this stuff, or what's going on with that?
It looks like the spokesperson said, it looks like he'll be convicted, and he said that it was in El Paso County, Colorado Springs, and that he'll be convicted. That's what the guy said. And by the way, he's a 34-year-old man living with his mom.
Okay. So, all right. So there's two things we need to talk about here. One is a famous bank robber named Willie Sutton. Anybody ever heard of him? Back in the Depression days, Willie Sutton was apprehended by the FBI, and they asked him, Willie, why do you rob banks? His answer was, because that's where the money is.
Okay.
So here's a simple answer. When you're contemplating whether or not there may be a civil remedy for something, you first have to stop and ask yourself, is there any chance that this person could be collectible against? Does this person have anything?
What about his mom's? What about his mom's homeowners? This kid has nothing. Nothing.
So most of the time, Tom, when somebody is in the act of committing a crime, there's not going to be any insurance coverage. Okay? There's a criminal act exclusion on almost every policy of insurance.
But, John, I heard of a neighbor punching another neighbor in the face, breaking his jaw, and their insurance covered it.
Okay. Never say never, but there's got to be more to it than that.
Okay.
Because if it was a crime, if it was during the commission of a crime.
Okay.
When you talk about a punch, Tom, there could be lots of gray area, self-defense,
right.
All this kind of fun stuff. But when you're out shooting up a neighborhood,
it's a crime.
We're talking something that's solidly criminal activity. Okay?
So the insurance can basically say, screw it, he broke the law.
Well, why wouldn't they? And then the second thing is, this is a classic case.
All right, hold on. I want to bring you back. Hold on.
This stuff. Doc.
Buyers, you can win in a competitive market. And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but new rules. So get out there and win the home you want.
Stupid.
Orchard, the new way to home, is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. Get started at Orchard.com.
My swimmer panics under a frozen lake.
Local Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances of $500
There's
or
a
more.
swimmer.
That's right. 1%
The video
APY
is
on a
chilling.
24-month CD.
What happened was he went swimming, right? On purpose. Then he started panicking because he got cold and something happened to his reason.
To open a CD online in minutes.
And these guys are watching him, and he starts to panic, and he can't get out. And it says it's a Slovenian athlete.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
Okay, so he get out. He couldn't find his hole, and they couldn't break. Hold on, let's see what happens. He lost his sense of direction.
All in one.
But he saw his teammates, and he starts asking for help. They're trying to break it as much as they can. They're jumping up and down on the ice.
On Capitol Hill today, the Senate confirmation hearing for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson.
He finally
Senator Lindsey Graham
finds a cord and comes back. Holy shit!
Did he have scuba gear or he was free swimming?
No, just a bathing suit.
Ice cold.
That video, hold on. I'm going to see if I can share it with you guys. Holy shit.
President Biden heads to Europe this week, trying to shore up the NATO alliance as the war in Ukraine intensifies. ABC's Terry Moran.
This trip is Biden's third trip to Europe that he's made. It's designed to show a rock-solid, defiant front against Vladimir Putin. Russia now stalemated on the battlefield. We're shipping this long, grinding war of bombardment and siege, and Western leaders want to turn the screws even tighter. But the mood here is that Putin remains defiant, and this war will grind on.
Now it's Mariupol, Ukraine decimated today. This is ABC News. Chinese search and rescue teams combing the wreckage where a plane went down. China Eastern Airlines jet crashing in a mountainous area in the Guangxi region. 130 people on board. The Boeing 737 is not the same model involved in two fatal crashes 4 years ago. ABC News transportation correspondent Gio Benitez.
Those crashes were with the 737 MAX, a newer model. This was just a regular 737, and the plane itself was just 6 years old. So it's very important that we figure out exactly what happened.
Travel in the U.S. surging this spring break. The TSA screening more than 2.3 million passengers Sunday. That is a new pandemic record. 2.5 million people flew the same day 3 years ago before anyone ever heard of the novel coronavirus. The Grammys are banning Kanye West from performing at next month's awards show. The artist, who now calls himself Yee, under scrutiny after a string of controversial social media posts. Andy Field, ABC News.
Watch it. You're driving home when, oh no, you hit the longest red light in town. What's this? You're smiling because your car smells amazing. You just installed a Febreze car vent clip 5 weeks ago.
Look at him. That's scary.
Yes, those lights can
the guy on the John Fuller call, he called back in case you have questions.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone is built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy. Keep your communications online.
Why would you not go on the road?
Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Okay, how news time? 103.
Did you see it? Then he found the line.
You know, when they do cave diving, have you seen videos of that?
Are usually people that know what they're doing because they're out there every day.
There's the second avalanche death in 3 days. Last Thursday in San Miguel County, a man was killed.
Tom, have you ever seen videos of cave diving? When people go cave diving, they always have a line.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They never deviate from. So they can always go back. I mean, why this guy didn't swim along the line is insane.
Speak for themselves.
She just ticks off every single box, so it should be sort of a no-brainer. Having said that, you know, many of these hearings have turned into somewhat of political theater.
Jackson's confirmation hearings got underway this morning on Capitol Hill. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Allstate.
Highway 287 is closed in Broomfield between Miramonte and Dillon Road all this week for railroad repair work. The rest of the highway drive around the metro area in good shape. Just some slowing found C470 between University and Quebec. Road work reported on that stretch. Out to the east, I-70 is closed in both directions between Lyman and Kansas because of adverse conditions. Lots of 31 pinpoint weather. Snow showers tapering off this afternoon. We'll drop down into the mid-20s overnight tonight. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow for your Tuesday with a chance for some additional scattered snow showers and a high in the mid-40s. It's 35 right now in Denver. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At
Have you ever
Allstate,
heard
better
Gab
protection
Social?
costs.
What?
Gab Social.
No, what is that?
It's like a Twitter or an Instagram.
I'm not even on Twitter or Instagram.
It's fucking lunatic.
Although I do have you on Instagram for that Show Me Trouble.
So did you hear what happened to Babylon? Babylon, what is it called? Babylon.
What is Babylon?
Babylon. It's like The Onion. It's a satirical paper.
Oh, I never heard of it.
You know that Secretary of Health from Biden, the transsexual or transgender. You know, he's a Jewish man who was actually an admiral man who turned woman in 2011. She was named Woman of the Year.
Really?
And so this paper went out and called her Man of the Year, and was taken off Twitter because
they said that?
Yeah. So now you can't have any humor or satire like that. That's why Dave Chappelle, oh fuck, that fucking guy doesn't give a shit.
No.
Oh my god. Huh? You ever hear Dave Chappelle?
I know he is, yeah.
Did you ever hear his specials?
I didn't watch his specials.
Oh
I heard
my
that it was
god.
totally anti-PC.
Oh my god. That's saying something. This man doesn't give a shit about anything. I mean, I don't know, how would you put it? He doesn't care about shit, does he?
He's gonna say what he's gonna say. He's a wordsmith.
Good for him.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by my favorite person in the world, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Whether buying or selling real estate, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. There you go. He'll never hold you to a long-term contract. He's a master negotiator. Just trust him and let him do his magic. 303-920-1622. And, of course, my second favorite person in the world is John Fuller. He's a personal injury attorney. And we're actually talking. We got the guy on now, Jeff, who represents the neighborhood, kind of. He's kind of like the ringleader, the spokesperson. And Jeff, you know, our personal injury attorney was bringing up some very important aspects, okay? You asked a question. You said last year this guy fired off a gun in the neighborhood, Colorado Springs, shooting at people in cars, charged with attempted murder. He's being prosecuted. You think he's going to be convicted. There's a good chance. Can the neighbor sue for civil damages? And John Fuller, of course, as he always does in his personal injury practice, looks to the end game. What will you gain? And no matter how good the case, John always looks for damages. If you can't get damages, there's no sense bringing the case. Is that your message, John? If we culled it down?
Yeah, that's kind of the starting place for me rather than the ending place. And, you know, unless we have something that's purely going to be in the negligence category, and when you have somebody that's on drugs and committing crimes with a gun, I mean, it's hard to say that you're really going to be able to bring a case of negligent entrustment or something once the drug component gets involved. So really, it's just one of those things where I'd be shocked if you could get insurance coverage. And so there's really nothing to go for on the civil side of things. That doesn't mean, though, that these victims are without a remedy, because there is such a thing as victims' comp and victims' assistance through the DA's office that can help these people get counseling and can help them get some of the resources that they need to get some help. But there's just not a pot of gold in some insurance policy out there that's going to cover somebody going rogue with a gun on drugs and shooting up a neighborhood.
Now, Jeff, did you hear what he said? Because it was a crime, that the homeowner's insurance is not going to cover it.
I get that, but my concern is, okay, and that I understand that. I would say the same thing. I mean, but he shouldn't have guns in the first place. He's already got.
Yeah, but Jeff, hold on now. Listen, you're not arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I think the guy shouldn't have guns. The guy is going to be locked up, but what good is suing if there's nothing to be gained financially by it?
I don't know. I just want his family out of the neighborhoods, and I got neighbors fleeing like it's a hurricane, taking the loss on their property.
Well, why? He's going to be locked up. Why are they doing it? Does his mom wield weapons? Why are they leaving?
Because their children's bedrooms are shot up. They're terrified and insecure. They still got holes in their houses. They're looking at it every day.
Well, but so that's hold on now. Victims comp, there's resources to help make those repairs through victims compensation, and certainly you would be entitled to get an order of restitution for those repair costs. So you're not without a remedy here. You're just, what you're saying doesn't make a lot of sense because you can fix those things, and the problem is fixing to go to jail. And so to suggest that the neighborhood is ruined forever, I don't think that's necessarily the case if you just simply avail yourself of some of the resources that are out there.
See, in other words, let's just put it in reality, Jeff. You're not going, unless you guys all chip in 10 to 20,000 each, you're not going to get the legal resources to bring a lawsuit, and then there's nothing to be had by the lawsuit. It's a zero win. Right. There's nothing to be had. Now, he was hoping if he sues the neighbor, she'll move out of the neighborhood. But, Jeff.
That's a possibility, but, I mean, you've got to get somebody to, listen, no attorney's going to take that case on a contingency because there's no likelihood of any recovery. And so why would you do it just simply out of the goodness of your heart? I mean, these things cost money and time and resources and everything else. So if you've got to go out and hire an attorney, now you're throwing good money after bad. That just doesn't make sense. Why would these neighbors, after already being victimized, now come out of their own pockets while they haven't even spent those money to repair bullet holes and the other stuff that you're talking about, to go throw that money down the drain to pursue a civil judgment when that judgment is not going to allow this lady to move. In fact, it's going to make her even less likely to move because now she's going to have a judgment against her. She can't get financing on a new home. There may be a cloud on the title. I mean, you guys are just shooting your own selves in the foot now instead of helping it.
Now,
I think
also,
the lady would likely want to get out of the neighborhood as it is.
Their homeowner's insurance might cover their own damages, right?
It probably will, subject to deductibles and that kind of stuff. But I do know that Victims Comp and Victims Assistance has resources out there that can help crime victims like these people are.
Okay.
Hey, John, I have a question. Can the new red flag law take away his guns?
Well, he's going to go to.
Yeah, this is not a red flag issue. He's going to be legally prohibited from owning and possessing guns, period, because he's fixing to be a convicted felon.
Okay.
So we're not even in red flag territory where it's debatable. He's going to be legally prohibited.
Now you understand this, right, Jeff? That we're not saying you don't have a good cause. Of course you do.
Oh, no, that's not my argument. I mean, we've got all of his when we go to court. All of his family's there intimidating. They drive by the house and intimidating. The neighbors are terrified of this. This is that house on the street.
No, okay.
That house.
So in other words, you think they might seek retribution if he goes to jail for a long time? Yeah, but Jeff, you can't solve that in a civil lawsuit.
This is why I was trying to find a way to get them out of the neighborhood.
Right.
And
that's not the way.
I haven't been able to do that.
That's not the way.
Right. I mean, this guy shouldn't have. He was already prohibited, so I took two of them. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just it's a no-win situation.
This is a hard deal. I understand these people's situation completely, and the hard part is it may rise to the point that some of the neighbors can seek out a restraining order because of fear of retribution and any threats that are being made. But absent any threats being made, it's probably unlikely that a judge is going to put an independent restraining order in place. However, Tom, you know this as well, that there's an automatic restraining order against the defendant,
right,
harassing, molesting, intimidating, or anything else. And so if the argument can be made that this family member is doing this on behalf of the defendant, I can promise you the DA is not going to take kindly to that.
Right.
And the judge would be very much on their side in terms of trying to craft a remedy that would, that would nip that in the bud. No DA is going to sit there and tolerate that kind of stuff if they catch wind of of a family acting on behalf of a defendant.
Thank you, John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Now, Jeff, have the family members been driving through the neighborhood now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But are they intimidating?
Oh, very much so. They always come down our street now.
And do what? What do they do that's intimidating?
They stop in front of our house, take pictures, sit there, park their car out front, blast the stereo. I mean, it's that house with all the hoodlums in it. That's the house. I mean, it's 6 houses down from us. And I got 2 neighbors who've already moved. And I'm like, this is a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
And
I just don't think it's not worth a civil lawsuit, man. It's not worth a civil lawsuit at this point. What you have to do is maybe contact the police about the intimidation and see if they can do anything about it. We got a question on annuities. John, what is your question, sir? John?
Yeah. Yes.
What's your question on annuities?
Well, they say you can't lose your money, but if you get one, you have to leave it in for 10 years until you can withdraw without a penalty. Plus, you can lose the value of the money through inflation or through changing of the currency. So what makes that better than investing in gold and silver or something like that?
Let's find that out. Hang on, okay? Those are good questions.
Your car is worth more right now than any time in the past, and that's pretty exciting. Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs.
Cost of living increase every year.
What he was saying doesn't make sense either. He's saying that you can't touch it for 10 years, which isn't true. You touched it immediately.
Well, no, he's talking about getting your money out.
Can you turn that off?
Sharpest Rides. I'm telling you, if you're looking to trade in, go to the Sharpest Rides, best customer service in town. Get more info at thesharpestrides.com.
Empower Reverse Mortgage. Give them a call, and you'll be happy. If you're looking for a reverse loan, you can trust Mark Massey and his team to counsel you through it. Whether it be a lump sum, monthly payments, or a line of credit, you can depend on them to help you through it. You know, they are going higher and higher. They have jumbo reverse loans, and they're going lower on age requirements for some reverse loans. You can get a reverse loan as early as 55 years old through Empower Reverse, but the older the better, the more equity the better. But you can depend on Mark and his team at empowerreverse.com to give you the right information. 833-502-3100, 833-502-3100. Sheridan Auto Tech is the place I send my friends and family for auto repair because you can trust Sheridan, you can trust Kevin, Uncle Kevin Calkin, the owner, and I call him Uncle because he treats his customers like family. In fact, he's got so many satisfied customers, and he wants you to be part of the family. They have longevity in business, more than 20 years, honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, and value. And they do maintenance of all kinds, and they do repairs of all kinds, light or heavy, and electrical issues. 303-455-7242, 303-455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com.
Taxes could be your biggest expense in retirement. Don't send more money to the IRS than you have to. I'm Linda Gardner with Blue Heron Capital, inviting you to a free class.
Okay, is it offered? If so,
31st. For more information, go to registercolorado.com. That's registercolorado.com. Or call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right. Receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat common to complex issues, including infections, flu, pneumonia, migraines, dehydration, UTIs, COPD, COVID-19, and much more. It's really that simple. Go to dispatchhealth.com to learn more. And now, Dispatch Health has advanced capabilities to deliver IV fluids and even take X-rays in the home. It's really that powerful. Plus, they're affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicare Advantage. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay safe, and let Dispatch Health come to you.
Inflation just broke a nearly 40-year record thanks to Biden's out-of-control spending, and every second you are losing more of your hard-earned savings. But you can fight back. With a gold IRA from Birch Gold, you can protect your retirement from this outright theft. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm one of the Birch Gold's.
Learn how to set up your own gold IRA. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. Do it now, today. Text SHELTER to 989898. Finding great candidates to hire can be like
text SHELTER to 989898.
So they increased the dues for the golf course now.
Where I live?
Where we live,
yeah,
has gone up to $925 a month just to play golf.
Almost $1,000 a month you have to pay?
I don't pay anything.
Why?
Well, here's it. When I bought in, when I turned 70, you had two choices. You could put your membership up to sale, or what she did with me, she said, look, instead of you selling it, I'll make this deal with you. I bought it in for $50,000, okay? So I'll give your son a free legacy. So the legacy membership costs $30 grand. So he only had to pay half dues until he's 40. And you never have to pay dues again. And that way you'll get your money back. So I said, sign me up. So
right now, is there a buy-in with no dues?
No. No, the buy. No, if you were to join the club now,
what's the buy?
I think it's $70,000
plus $1,000 a month.
Yep.
Delete. What kind of fucking guy pays 70 grand plus $1,000 a month to play golf?
There are people who have money to do it.
Then you still hold on that 1,000. Don't you have to buy a certain amount of food?
No.
Okay. And what about green fees? You still have those?
No, that's the whole point.
Oh.
When you pay the $925 a month, there's no green fees, and you can play as many rounds as you want.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. All right, so Joe Chiano with MyMoneyMyWay.com. We've been talking about the annuity today a lot, but John had a question about the annuity. He said,
okay,
if you put money in, as you said, John, you can't touch it for 10 years. Now, that's not completely true, is that, Joe? It's not always 10 years, right? Or is it?
No,
he said without penalty. He said without penalty.
Right. It just depends on the annuity. I mean, we have annuities that are 5 years on duration of the surrender penalty. We have annuities with 7 years. We have immediate annuities that have no surrender penalty at all.
Yeah, but if you have a surrender penalty, what does that mean? Let's take a 5-year surrender penalty. What does it mean?
It's just like a CD at the local bank. You know, I mean, if you cash it in before their maturity, they're going to charge you a penalty, basically.
Okay, so you can literally cash it in then. I thought you after the penalty period, that means you can get your whole lump sum out.
Absolutely.
I thought there was a 10% a year you can take out.
Yeah, I mean you can without a penalty. So I mean,
I get it.
If you need money immediately, you can access your money up to 10% per year without a surrender penalty.
Okay, or you can take it all with a surrender penalty, or after 5 years you can take it all without a penalty.
Exactly. Just remember one thing. An annuity is a retirement vehicle.
Okay, but then John brought up something else. How is that different than silver and gold? Well, geez, I mean, silver and gold does not guarantee income for life, John.
Well, of course not, but you can spend it without penalty whenever you need to. Plus, it's going to go up in value theoretically.
So if you had, let's say you had $300,000 in gold, on today's value, and you had an annuity for 300 that festered over, so now let's say 5 years from now, that 300 can produce income, and you're saying you can sell the gold, but you have to pay gains on it when you sell it. You pay, on the gains, you have to pay tax, and then you sell it as you need it. I don't know. I don't know. I guess anybody could do anything, but it just sounds far-fetched.
Well, the more money you have, the more you can invest in something like annuities, because pulling out with a penalty isn't going to hurt you as much as it would if you're a smaller investor, where with gold and silver, you can always spend it without any penalty and you can hold on to it.
But John, let me ask you this, though. You have to find somebody that will buy the gold. And we don't know what the price of gold will be whenever you're ready to sell it.
Now, are you talking about literally taking possession of it, John?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I think it's easier said than done. I just think it might be. And then you pay commissions on it. I understand what John's saying. He's saying for smaller investors, there might be alternatives. But I have a guy who said that he put in, listen to this, is a few years ago, he put in $300,000 in a lump sum. And he immediately, the next month, started drawing income at $1,400 a month. And he has a cost of living override. That seems to me like outrageous return. I don't think you can do that, Joe. Is he weaving a tale or what?
No, that's actually what they call an immediate annuity. We have those.
But
we have those annuities available.
But that's an incredible amount of money. To draw out $1,400. Wow. That must be making a lot of money. Now, is the guaranteed rate of return guaranteed? Is it a guarantee?
No, the guarantee is zero. That means, this annuity has nothing to do with the stock market or any gold or silver.
Well, what do you mean? The is zero guaranteed?
No, hold on a second. It will measure an index like the S&P 500. So when the S&P 500 grows, you're going to get a percentage of that growth. You're not going to get that all. But if the S&P 500 drops or the stock market crashes, you're not going to lose anything. You're going to stay level.
But there is no guaranteed return like with Become the Banker.
No, you can have a guaranteed return, but it's a very low rate, just like a money market account.
I get it.
It's a fixed rate.
And it's not good for a return for income.
Oh, no. You wouldn't want to use that. But if somebody's concerned about the guarantees, there is a fixed interest guaranteed that you can put on that annuity.
But you don't recommend
no, I don't recommend it. No. I think John had another good point, though, about the I can't remember now what he said about the
small investor. You mean he was talking
about the cost of inflation?
Right. He's saying that it'll go up with inflation.
Right. Well, this one here will go up with inflation as well.
How?
Because it measures the S&P 500. So whenever the market goes up, you're going to get a gain. When the market comes down, you're going to stay level. You're not going to lose your money. So every time the market goes up...
But cost of living is not necessarily tied to the stock market.
No, it's not. It's a good indicator.
Okay. So, in other words...
It's a good indicator.
So, I want to recap. The annuities that you sell, you can put in a little each month and it festers, or you can put in lump sums, or you can put in a lump sum and get immediate income for those who might have a retirement plan. They might, instead of... sometimes pensions offer a lump sum instead of the monthly payments, and they can compare the monthly payments of the pension to the monthly payments of the annuity, right?
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
And does the annuity usually pay higher than a pension?
A pension, I think Tom, they're the same. A pension and an annuity is it's the same thing.
Okay, but
if somebody has a pension, let's say that it's $1 million, and they'll say to the employee, you can either take the lump sum right now,
right,
or you can take a income for the rest of your life,
right. So then they turn it into an annuity, basically.
That's exactly right. That's what it is. You're buying income, just like Doc, was saying.
Okay.
You bought an annuity, he's buying income.
All right. I appreciate it. Hold on. Steve, you don't know what Steve's comment was, do you, Suze, on the house? Okay. So we have to take this quick break. If you have any more questions for Joe on annuities, and I find them fascinating. But and by the way, it's not just for old people. I mean, it's actually better if you started it younger. We have more coming up. Give us a call. We have plenty of time for calls at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Capless today at 4, 6:30, KHOW.
So I just think $900 a month to play golf it would have been a lot to me. I probably wouldn't do it.
Are you not doing it now?
Oh, no, you don't have to. I don't have to pay the fees.
My God. And you don't have to make monthly payments.
Well, that's the whole point. Because $925 is a lot. Even if they 3 or 4 rounds, once a week, it's crazy. That's like $200 a round.
So who's going to pay it?
There are lots of people who pay it. Trust me, she has over 400 members.
But then plus the buy-in.
Right.
What do they do with the buy-in fees?
Well, it's part of the bank to run the course. I mean, it's expensive to maintain a golf course.
The buy-in fees, though, do you have an equity? Can you sell it?
Yeah. You can sell it as long as you abide by the rules, which is you go on a list, and it's first come, first served. So if you wanted to get a membership,
let's talk about restoration companies.
If you go right now to Google or you go anywhere and pick a restoration company, unfortunately, there's a more than better chance you're going to get a ripoff. Please don't be victim. Your insurance company won't pay twice. If they pay a bad restoration company and you still have mold or bacteria or some harmful substance or the asbestos wasn't done right, your insurance company doesn't say, oh, we're sorry, let's get this done right. No. When you blow it, you blow it. That's why I recommend American Restoration 24/7. That's the first time. American Restoration. Get it done right. 8337-AMREST. I'll give you that again in a minute. But here's what I mean. If you have a fire, flood, asbestos, toxic mold, anything that insults your property, broken pipes, whatever it is, ash, soot, and you need help, get American Restoration. Rock and his team. They do an honest job. They'll do as little or as much as you need them to do. They'll deal with your insurance or your public adjuster or both. 8337-AM-REST. 8337-AM-REST. Online, amrest247.com.
This is a critical message for folks affected by the Boulder County fires. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major. Your insurance company is not your friend. Their entire goal is to pay you the least amount of money. Don't be fooled by these snakes. Their adjusters are nothing but wolves in sheep's clothing. You need someone on your side fighting for you. You need Matt with Paragon Services. He's a public adjuster. Call Matt for free advice on how to deal with your insurance company. 719-726-0020. 719-726-0020.
Welcome to Mikasa,
Oh my, is that a Picasso?
No, don't touch
it's
it.
It's covering a hole in your wall.
Yeah, I had leaks, but the plumber who repiped doesn't do drywall.
He doesn't? Repipe specialists would have repiped and offered to fix the holes in your walls.
Got leaks? Repipe specialists will repipe your house in 1 or 2 days and offer to fix the drywall. Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910 or visit repipe.com.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid twice? How's that even possible? To sell your home and get paid twice? You can with Orchard. It's simple. Orchard makes you a solid cash offer on your home. If you agree, boom, here's your cash. Orchard handles everything from there. Paint, repair, clean, list, and show your home. And if your old home sells for more than Orchard paid you for it, you get the upside cash. That bears repeating. When your old home sells for more than Orchard paid for it, you get paid again. And that happens 99% of the time with Orchard. Look, in this hot Denver market where there's so many home buying companies trying to lowball you, only Orchard pays you the upside when your old home sells for more. Want to get paid twice when you sell your home? I know I would. Learn how and get a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
When it comes to kitchen countertops and cabinets, you're flooded with choices. But my recommendation is but one choice, Art of Granite, luxury with value. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Wholesale prices on all stone and surfaces, including quartz. Pay only for fabrication and installation. And when the kitchen is done, the bathroom is free. All tear out and haul away is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz. All the latest colors. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, everybody. Jack Corrigan, voice of your Colorado Rockies. Join me and MLB legend Cal Ripken Jr. for the 2022 Sports Breakfast at Ball Arena, supporting the Boy Scouts of America. It's April 6th from 7 to 9 a.m. You'll hear amazing Scout impact stories, meet local sports stars and celebrities, and of course hear from the Hall of Famer Cal Ripken himself. For more information, go to denverboyscouts.org/sportsbreakfast. Register to attend today.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Hey, Monday at 4. Should the issue of biological males competing in girls' and women's sports be a big issue in the upcoming Colorado elections? I say yes. And the New York Times greenlighting the Joe Biden corruption story, beginning of the end of the Biden presidency. Join me at 4.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind. I mean that sincerely. Let's talk, Joe. And by the way, if you guys want to call, you know I take your calls right away at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255 with problems, questions, and complaints. I have a little filler material I want to talk about, but first, when I say filler, it's good stuff. It's good news. But first, I want to talk to Joe with some questions we have about the annuity, and then I'll go on to the other one. So, Joe, with an annuity, I'm serious now. If you had your money in a CD, okay, and you had a good amount of money, let's say you have that $300,000 we talked about that the guy got an instant annuity, okay? Now, he's getting $1,400 a month. So let's say you divide that up by $1,400. That comes out to be 214 months divided by 12. It's 18 years, basically. So if you did nothing but draw out $300,000 from a money-bearing, like I have one online that gives me 3%, 2.5%, just a regular savings account. That will last you 17 years. That's without doing anything. You can take out whatever you want, whenever you want. Of course, you get less. But how is an annuity better than that, let's say? I mean, you're 18 years of income at $1,400 a month. And the $300,000 CD annuity is doing about the same thing. So they're figuring from the time he took it out, they must be figuring he's going to be living less than that, right?
But it's up to $1,650 a month.
Oh, it is up to $1,650 a month.
Because that's 3% every year.
That 3% cost of living? How the hell can they afford to do that, Joe? Do you have a cost of living increase on yours?
Of course. That's normal with the good annuities, Tom. There's good and bad annuities, and the good ones have exactly what Doc was saying.
I'm asking you straight up then. If you have an interest-bearing account and you draw down your money, you're telling me that having an annuity is better.
Absolutely, because nobody knows when they're going to die.
And okay. In other words, you don't want to outlive your money. But
that's right.
Okay.
And that's the biggest fear that people have today: not having enough money at retirement, or outliving their money, because they don't have enough money to carry them all the way till the day they pass. And an annuity will solve that problem. It will go till the day you pass away.
Joe, have annuity companies ever gone out of business and said, "Sorry, no more income"?
No, you know what? I've been around for the last 47 years doing this, and I have only seen one or two companies that had financial difficulties.
And what happens in that case? What happens to these poor mokes who put money into it?
Oh, no. Yeah, don't worry about that. See, they're taking care of it. I mean, because every state has an insurance commissioner. And the first thing that they do, they will actually try to merge that company with another company. That's why companies get bigger all the time. They merge with other companies. Now, in order to merge with the other company, they have to make sure that all the promises made to the policy holder, to the annuity holder, they have to be kept by the new company. It's a contract.
Now, I want to ask you, Joe, ask you, are these life insurance companies? Who sells annuities?
Life insurance companies.
Mine is with AIG, which I don't think is going to fail.
But AIG got in trouble years ago.
No, only with the mortgage section, not with life. Okay.
Now, Joe, these annuities. I want your definition or your explanation as to what is a bad annuity. Okay, let's just go right there. What makes a bad annuity?
An annuity that deals with the stock market. That's number one. An annuity that has a high fee. Anything that's a variable annuity, they have a high fee, and they're dealing with the danger of the stock market. So if you look at
but you can't lose principal, right? Even with a bad one.
With a bad one. See, there's no guarantees. On a variable annuity, there's absolutely no guarantees, zero guarantees. If you look at the annuity contracts, you will see a disclaimer that nothing at all is guaranteed.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want my money there.
Okay, that's a bad annuity. What's a medium annuity?
A medium annuity would be an annuity that maybe has not the stock market as the main, a body of the annuity, but maybe they have a combination of real estate, let's say.
Okay.
Or they can,
and what else?
So
what about fees?
Well,
a medium annuity.
Well, the good annuities, what they have, Tom, they have nothing to do with the stock market, and they have very low fees. Like the annuities that we promote only have a 1.30% fee per year. I mean, most 401ks, they have
more than that.
7.
No, they have more than that. You're right.
Right. So 1.3 is a very low annuity, and there's absolutely zero risk.
Okay, one guy wrote and said, Joe, would you be able to analyze my pension to see if a lump sum conversion to an annuity would be better than the monthly payment they are asking me to pay? Or not asking me to pay, I mean, are offering me.
Receive, yeah. Right. Absolutely. We do that all the time.
And you'll be straight with them. I mean, obviously, I know you, Joe. You will be. If they're better off where they are, you'll tell them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What phone number do you want them to use?
303-779-6600.
Okay, 303-779-6600. Now, hold on. Devlina is back. Devlina, she called in earlier. And Devlina, I hope you weren't upset with me. I'm trying to get you some solid information. You have a 27-year-old son, Robert, married with a child, a good kid, bought a car, 2010 Rogue, $6,000 from Car Hop. Multiple problems. The dealer offered $1,400, and I said, "Listen, Devlina, Duvlina, I'm sorry. Duvlina, I said, here's the deal. If we can't prove they committed fraud or did anything wrong, you really just have to figure out a way to get out of this car into another one or get this car fixed. And I wanted one of our deputies to help. Suze, who did you assign this one to?
Smarty Marty.
Oh, Smarty Marty. Okay, Duvlina, have you talked to our Smarty Pants yet?
I have, yes, and he asked me to call you back.
Okay, what's going on?
I have some new information.
What?
Okay. I did some investigating on this car, on these Nissans. Apparently these Nissans were recalled because they're unsafe. Because the metals in the two gear joints in the front and other parts in the vehicle itself is made of metal and it's like foil. So that was a recall. That's one of the reasons why the cars are not.
Hold on.
They're hard.
Okay, the recall was when, though?
Recently.
It was on a hold on, that doesn't make sense. On a 2010, they very seldom have. This is a 22-year-old recall that just happened.
Well, actually, it goes according to the VIN number, but according to the gentleman, the manager in the auto shop, it was one of the cars that was recalled.
Okay, and this recall was never done on this car?
No.
Okay, and it was hold on, and you're saying it was a safety recall?
Yes.
We need to look this up to see if it truly was safety, and if it was, then they would have to do it. I mean, so what do you have the recall number, dear?
No, I don't. No,
okay.
I just
do me a favor.
Like I said,
here's what we're going to do. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to give either to Suze or Smarty Marty, send us the VIN number.
Okay.
We're going to do our own search on it and see.
Okay.
Now, if there were safety recalls and the safety recalls were not done, that might be a good thing for you. Okay?
Okay.
Hold on. 303-713-8255. Wow. That might be good.
Well, aren't all recalls safety?
Not really. No. Well, actually, no. Well, no, they're not. But I would say that's the danger. Like a stalling problem, right? Like acceleration would be.
Yeah.
Sudden acceleration, but stalling's not. So it depends. Okay? And even though they call them a safety recall, it's because the Highway Traffic Safety Administration issues them.
Right.
But it's not
all. Okay.
Like let me give you an example. Like there are things like just shit that it's funny, they're called safety recalls. Now, service bulletins are not, but recalls are. She might be talking about a manufacturer's recall. That's not the same as a government recall. So it's really weird. You know what? Century RV is such a fun place. We happen to have them in our backyard. You go north on I-25 to exit 240. That's the Longmont exit. Just take a right, go down Frontage Road, CentryRV.com. New and used RVs, they're building a giant new facility up there, but even in their temporary facility, they have screaming deals, even in these times of high prices. Great deals, and they're paying top prices for trades, or you can even sell yours. 303-453-1111, CentryRV.com. Blake Harris Law, he was on the show earlier, and what did he do? He gave us solid information. He will give you solid information, free of charge. Ask your questions. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Ask about trusts. Ask about wills. Ask about payable on death certificates for bank accounts or any other estate planning issue. He'll give you the answers, and if you want to hire him, it's flat rates quoted up front on whatever he does for you. 833-ASK Blake. We're having all this financial discussion today, and it's really good stuff. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. This liquid loan, what a great loan. You get to take out a lot of money on a line of credit from your home, enough to pay off your first, and more if you have more equity. But you can pay it down as little or as much as you want. Listen to this. If you only have the home for 3 to 5 years, just pay interest only. Very low payments. That's all you're responsible for. And the more money you have in the bank, the less interest you pay because they offset it. Oh, my God, this is a great loan. That's why it's called the liquid loan. You pay it as you want, when you want. If you make regular payments, you'll pay it off quicker than a regular loan. Or you can just pay interest only and then sell and pay it off. Find out more from Affordable Interest Mortgage on the best mortgage there is, theliquidloan.com, 720-895-0500, 720-895-0500.
Do you feel like your feet are stepping on broken glass?
So listen, if you guys, that the way the liquid loan is right now, do you know, I found out how much money I made on my house. It's a fucking extraordinary amount.
On the one in Cherry Creek? Yeah.
Do you realize that if
I was close to at least $2 million, right?
Yeah, it's a little more than 2. But if
No injections and no drugs. Using the newest, most advanced treatment, you can start feeling relief in only a few sessions. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical now for a consultation and exam to see if your neuropathy can be treated. He'll provide a painless neuropathy severity exam, normally $200 for just $27. Take action before your neuropathy gets worse. Call Dr. Dean Anderson, D.C. at Front Range Medical at 720-823-0784. That's 720-823-0784.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office. Remodel your kitchen. Or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Michael Brown here from my partners at the Colorado Business Roundtable. You know, sometimes we forget just how vital businesses are to our state. They're not simply brick and mortar.
Or whatever. Oh, in the 90s, I had a giant house. Okay, I had a liquid loan.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. Now listen to this. I never used it, right? But then I would just put all my money in it because it's like, okay, you can use the money. Here's the long story short. They froze them. They froze the lines of credit. So my last few paychecks that went into it, I couldn't get back until I made a stink, and then I got it back. But I'm afraid that they could freeze. I got to ask Kurt about that. Can they freeze income? Can they freeze the payments you have ever?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. No more callers. We have Joe on, and we have a few minutes left, and it's really good stuff we're learning from Joe. Joe, this is dangerous, but what if someone has a line of credit on their home is paid for, and they have a line of credit? Now, I'm not saying you're recommending this, but I love just, you know, as they call spitballing while you're here, just chewing the fat. Let's say they have an equity line of credit. It's down to nothing. They have a house worth a lot of money. If they took $500,000, $600,000 on their mortgage and put it into an annuity, now they're still going to owe the $500,000 or $600,000. I'm not sure it's even worth it, but it's theoretically, it's sounding to me like this mortgage or this annuity, if they let it grow for 5 years and paid interest only on this line of credit, that the payment at the end of 5 years on $500,000 would be more than they would need to pay the payments on that house. I don't know. I don't know if you can trick the system that way. I don't know. But have you ever had people play with in other words, with annuities, what do they usually fund it with?
They usually funded annuities through a transfer.
Okay.
From a 401k, an IRA that may not be working for them. People that are maybe afraid of the stock market, they're taking their 401ks out of the market and transferring the money into an annuity. People that just have money in a CD, losing money at the local bank, they take the money from the CD and they transfer the money into the annuity. That's about 90% of the people that we see.
Okay.
They're transferring money to preserve
income,
grow their money, and to develop an income for the rest of their lives.
Right. So they're buying income, or they're deferring it and letting it grow and then taking it.
Exactly.
And to get started, I want to know what the process is, really, literally. Do you have to take a physical?
No, not at all. An annuity does not require any medical exam, nothing at all.
They want you to die early.
Yeah, they want you to die early.
Really? Yeah, no, that's right, Doug. No, that is absolutely right. But the key is we're living longer, so we're actually getting the best of them.
But let me get this straight. You don't leave money on the table.
You don't. You do not leave money at the table. If you happen to pass away early, the account value will go to your beneficiary.
Can a beneficiary decide instead of the value to continue in? Oh, no, they can't, because they'd be a different age.
Right.
So they have to take the account value.
That's right.
But let's say that your heir is in their 30s or 40s, can they convert that lump sum account into a new annuity for themselves?
Absolutely. It happens all the time, Tom.
And when do you pay tax on the income?
You do pay taxes on the gain.
On the gain.
Only
so
on the gain.
how do you
That's
figure? Right. How do you figure that on a monthly basis? Like at the end of the year when you do your taxes. Oh, I can ask someone who has one. Go ahead, Doc.
I get a 1099 from my annuity, and I pay.
It's automatic.
It's regular income.
Only on the gain.
Right, on the month, whatever I get per month.
Now, how do they do that, Joe? Let's just say you have $1 million in there, and you made part of it was gain and part of it was principal. Do they allot a part of the gain and a part of the principal to every payment, or do they take all principal first or all gain first?
They'll take all gain first.
Oh, those asses! Well, I know.
I know
so
that.
Wait a minute. They truly take all of the gain first, and then. And then when you get down to principal, do you stop paying tax on it?
That's right, because you already paid taxes on that.
All right, you're always a wealth of information, Joe Chiano. And
thank you.
And your show is when?
Saturday, every Saturday.
K-How.
2 o'clock, K-How, 2 o'clock till 3.
2 to 3.
Smart Money Moves.
All right, thanks.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino.